Good morning. It's 5 o'clock, and I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. The rain is out of here. We're going to have some sunshine today. It'll be less humid, and our high right around 84 degrees. In the news, there's been an arrest in the shooting death of a 12-year-old boy in downtown Nashville. Demarion Moorhead had gone with a group of other people to meet up for a fight. Channel 4's Steve Mayling has more on that.
Police say footage shows a group of people ganging up on 24-year-old Devin Orr. And once Orr pulled a gun, the others ran off, and Orr fired a gun in their direction.
The first question is self-defense. Could he argue, the person who was arrested, argue that he fired in self-defense? Yeah, I think that he can make that argument.
One of the two shots fired hit Demarion in the head, killing him. Orr has been arrested and charged with criminal homicide.
That's attorney David Rabin there speaking with Channel 4. The new acting director of national intelligence, Bill Pulte, started his tenure by purging the agency of personnel, what NBC called the deep state firings. President Trump named Pulte the acting director this month and said on Truth Social that he had asked him to execute the immediate and needed downsizing of that office, reverting staff to their home agencies.
The president earlier this month said he had asked Pulte to execute the immediate and needed downsizing of the office. Democrats, in a letter yesterday, warned Pulte not to take actions that are, quote, more appropriately left to a Senate-confirmed director, adding that Pulte has shown a willingness to misuse his authority in government to pursue President Trump's perceived political enemies and further his retributive political agenda.
ABC's Karen Waugh there. There's a noticeable police presence at the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool today as more evidence emerges that it's been vandalized. President Trump said yesterday he has photographic proof of someone cutting a 350-foot gash into the pool's bottom coating. Market numbers now brought to you by Beacon Capital Management online at beaconcm.com.
Market indexes were mixed on the first day of trading after the three-day weekend. The Dow was up 148 points at the end of Monday trading. The S&P lost 28 and the Nasdaq fell 351 points. Oil prices eased after Vice President J.D. Vance claimed progress in talks between the U.S. and Iran. Shares of SpaceX tumbling more than 10% for a third straight loss, but still above the $135 price of its initial public offering earlier this month. The Federal Aviation Administration announced it will start rolling out an AI system across the national airspace aimed at reducing delays and cancellations. That system will predict weather, traffic, and airspace issues and suggest solutions to air traffic controllers. Nationwide operation is expected in 2028. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Well, the tech sell-off continues today. The Nasdaq futures are minus 770 right now. S&P futures also down 98 points. That's big. The Dow futures are minus 252 right now. That's the latest news. Stick around for your traffic next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News. Little wet on the roads, but otherwise it's okay. No problems this morning on 40, 65, or on 24. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
.506 Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Good morning to you. Joan Jones is here. Sam is here as well. Morning, everybody. Hope you're doing well today. Mostly sunny, less humid, and a high of 84. All right, so Joan, the whole thing with the reflecting pool.
Yeah.
I failed to cover this yesterday because I was so busy doing other things. But I watched as I was on vacation all of this drama.
Yeah.
Regarding the reflecting pool. So what's funny, you said that in your newscast, Donald Trump says that he's got photographic evidence that somebody took some sort of a blade and cut that reflecting pool. I don't know. What do you call it?
The lining at the bottom. Yeah.
At the bottom, yeah. So he's got photographic evidence, apparently, of somebody who cut the lining.
Yeah.
So what's funny is you've got some jackass like Tim Walz, right? So, Tim Walz yesterday, he says on X, oh my Lord, thank you to Chris Hand for teaching me about the term ratioed. He was ratioed on X, but Tim Walz, posting on X, found an imaginary problem, said only they could fix it, didn't listen to experts, hired buddies who grifted millions, failed miserably, bragged about how great it went, Waltz wrote on Friday in a post on X with over 3.5 million views. The entire Trump presidency in a nutshell. People, of course, started going after him about the fraud because we all know about the fraud, whatever.
Yeah.
So, but I've been, and you've been to the reflecting pool. You used to work in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
I was at the reflecting pool, I don't know, a couple of years ago when I was in Washington, D.C. for the State of the Union. And the thing was a mess.
Yes.
Biden was it stunk to high heaven.
Yes.
I was on the phone with my wife and I was like, is it supposed to stink? You know what I mean?
Yes, I do. It's been stinking for a long time. And it never looked beautiful. In fact, none of the memorials around, if you're down in the National Mall, you can walk to many of the memorials. Like the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, it looked like it needed a good washing. Everything looked like it needed a good washing. And
right.
President Trump did that. That's what he did.
Have you seen these idiots?
Yes.
Walking around. I don't have it with me, but yesterday I did see it. There are people that are walking around in like
the frog costumes.
Was that what that was? A frog costume?
Yeah. Those ridiculous frog costumes.
And he's got a sign that says Team Algae.
Team Algae. Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
They're nuts. They're nuts.
These people are insane.
Yeah.
So now they've arrested, I don't know, 7 or 8 people. I've got some video and audio. This is Caroline Levitt talking about the situation with the reflecting pool, video and audio.
The vandalism is very real, despite what Tim Walz wants to say. It's an imaginary problem. No, it is not. It's a very real problem. In fact, I spoke with the National Park Service just before joining the show. They now have 17 police reports that have been filed in just the matter of a few days. There's actually been 6 arrests at the reflecting pool, where, again, these deranged individuals, many of them longtime donors to the Democrat Party, to Barack Obama, to Act Blue, that have been vandalizing and desecrating our federal monument, one of the most beautiful monuments in the world, the reflecting pool. And that's why President Trump is not going to stop with this effort. We're going to not only hold those people accountable, but we're going to fix the pool, continue to make it beautiful from this despicable vandalism just in time to celebrate our nation's 250th birthday next week.
Democrats, they celebrate filth, they celebrate crime, they celebrate death. Abortion, right? So this is what the Democrats, this is what they favor, is these concepts of a really crappy, dirty, crime-ridden city is what they want to live in. And it's really sad. Pratt, what's his name?
Spencer Pratt.
Spencer Pratt. Spencer Pratt talked about Gotham. Remember Gotham?
Yeah.
And he describes Los Angeles as Gotham. That's like what the Democrats are. I mean, you look at the Democrats overall, and again, what they want to live in, the vile filth that they want to live in, and what they appreciate. And again, crime. All you got to do is look at their policies, friends. All you got to do is look at how they live. Crime-ridden streets, graffiti, running around in frog costumes saying Team Algae as one of the nation's most beautiful landmarks is vandalized only because Donald Trump wanted to fix it. And only because Donald Trump wanted to say, hey, let's celebrate 250 years of American greatness by cleaning up the nation's capital. And they can't even handle that, these Democrats. It is so stunning. And I wish that I could say it was only a handful, Joan, but it's not, because it may be only a handful. She said 17 arrest reports. It may be only a handful that are actually out there doing the crime. But the reality is that the entirety of the Democrat Party, they all, Joan, have this mentality.
They do. They're so hung up on the fact that President Trump hired his pool guys to go out there and fix it. And they're just like, the glee is that he was so wrong about this, hiring guys. Of course, they went this path, President Trump hired people without going through the contracting process that you have to go through at the federal level. Mm-hmm. And because these guys have, and I heard this report yesterday, I was laughing my face off, they don't have federal experience with federal,
federal water. Federal water.
Yeah. So it's all about the federal part of it. It's like you don't need federal anything to have common sense.
No, I mean,
this is a pool, and they took care of it like a pool.
Yeah.
But
liner.
if you go around cutting it with cutting the liner with a knife, it's not going to work.
Well, and there's also reports that they actually, I don't know if this is true.
Brought
algae. It wouldn't surprise me, but dumped algae into the actual. Can you do that?
Yes.
Like, hey, Sam, if I wanted to buy some algae, like, how much is it and where could I get it? 'Cause I didn't know you could do that.
They
come over to my house.
Algae out of the pond in your backyard.
Oh, really?
Sure.
Okay.
Why not? You can dump all kinds of things in it. And that's just the point. So if you disrupt the pH balance, you'll get algae.
Yeah, I spend most of my time fighting algae in my
there
pool.
There you go.
There is
so
that.
if you do the opposite of what you're doing in your pool, you'll grow algae with the heat of the sun, right?
You can buy it from pool stores.
You can buy algae from pool stores?
Yeah. Chamatomorpha macroalgae, live refugium algae for saltwater, can be purchased specifically from vendors like Squeaky's Aquatics, a fast-growing live chaeto macroalgae designed to naturally absorb phosphates from water.
Okay. So who in the general Washington, D.C. area just bought algae on Amazon and had it delivered, and see if we can figure out, because, only, and you know this, Joan, better than I do probably, but you put just a little bit of algae in a pool and it grows like nobody's business.
Yeah, all you need is the heat of the sun.
Oh, that's right, Joan. All you need is the heat of the sun.
Yeah.
This is why Amy takes care of the pool in my house, because I have no idea, whatever. But anyway, so, yeah, and these people, they need to face federal charges, not some of this misdemeanor crap. But you know what's going to happen, right? You know what's going to happen is it's going to get in front of a federal judge or one of these soft on crime judges, and, the charges will be dismissed. And, what were you telling me, Sam, before the show? A federal judge has blocked.
Oh my gosh!
Tim Walz and
so one federal judge
Keith
has
Ellison
blocked the subpoenas for Tim Walz and Keith Ellison.
Yep.
By ruling like it's some kind of harassment apparently for them,
which is insanity.
Absolutely. And then another judge, a Biden appointee, Sparkle Sanukin, who was born in Trinidad and Tobago, blocked the Trump administration from using Social Security database system to verify voter eligibility.
I mean, these federal judges,
They're lunatics.
they're out of control. And everybody knows that they're out of control. So, I made the joke the other day, a couple of weeks ago now, but, Donald Trump wants to take a number 2. He's got a federal judge telling him he's got to, squeeze the butt cheeks. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It is just astonishing. And blocking the subpoenas for Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison and the Governor Tim Walz, knowing full well of the fraud that was going on as they did, and this judge is saying it's harassment. No, we're looking for the damn truth is what we're looking for. There's an audio bite. I didn't even pull it, but there's an audio bite out there of Tim Walz. Maybe I'll find it, where he's talking about how one of the big issues that he had and that they had was they didn't keep Minnesotans up to speed on what was going on with all of this fraud. Well, that tells you that he knew that this was going on. I mean, everybody knows that it was going on. And so this is something that in the state of Minnesota, there is another story out there where you've got, I think I saw that there's like hundreds of federal, I should say, state employees in the state of Minnesota that are saying that Tim Walz and Keith Ellison berated them into keeping them quiet about the Somali fraud. That is why the subpoenas are needed to go after Tim Walz, to go after Keith Ellison. And they just, federal judges, Obama, Biden appointees just say nope. And so what I hope is that we, as in our side, has enough federal judges to do all of this federal judge harassment against the Democrats if they ultimately get power. And I know that we should be above that, but you know what? I don't know. I'm kind of feeling like you got to fight fire with fire. And I know that we spend all this time complaining about federal judges that are Obama and Biden appointees, and I do understand that our side has been complaining about it. Part of me wonders, okay, well then, do we have enough federal judges to fight fire with fire? An eye for an eye, if you will. Because that's how the Democrats are playing. The Democrats are just playing downright dirty. From vandalizing the reflecting pool to stopping all of these investigations into their fraud and stopping the ability of the Trump administration to ensure free and fair elections. This is what the Democrats are doing these days. It's all just insanity. So Donald Trump, and you also have people on the other side of the aisle and people in the media that are saying, nah, there hasn't actually been any vandalism. This was all because Donald Trump, you said, Joan, used his pool guy, whatever it is. And, I would say that, and I don't know the details of that story. I truly don't. If the president went around the process of trying to, find people that are federally approved, whatever.
Did you happen to see him when he brought the pool guys in?
No, I didn't. Was this last week?
Yeah, it was last week.
No.
So he brought them in, and they're just like these normal guys. They're just like your everyday normal guys. And he was like, hey, guys, you see this problem? They're like, yeah, we got that. So they fixed it. They filled up the pool. President Trump is out there, beating his chest because he just loves the fact that he just had his normal guys do something. And of course, it was a no-bid contract.
Yeah.
So, the left is losing their minds. And then he invited them into the White House. And they're all dressed in their jeans and dirty shirts and stuff.
Oh, sure.
And President Trump was just praising them. Well, that's what triggered the left.
Right. They can't stand that Donald Trump was right.
Yeah. And that it was normal guys. They have to have their processes in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
Everything has to be done just right. Or, they can claim all kinds of fraud. President Trump has fraud,
Well, and the crazy part about this, too, is that not only do you have people that are out there trying to destroy one of the most beautiful American landmarks in Washington, D.C., but they're also harassing the law enforcement officers that are now there having to protect it.
Yeah, those stupid frogs are standing behind. There was a video of that frog that you were talking about holding a sign, standing behind two National Guardsmen just egging them on. Just, you could hear, come on, get me. You know you want to get me. It's like these people, they're so deranged.
And kudos to the National Guard
Yes.
and the law enforcement officers that have the discipline, the self-discipline, not to turn around and kneecap them with their baton.
Which I would love.
I would love to see. You know what? I would pay to see those people tased.
I was going to say it would be better than that. It would be like a high voltage cattle prod.
Have you seen the videos
Imagine.
of the people who take bear spray? There's air holes in those frog things. So they take bear spray and they put it into that hole and spray it because now the people are captured inside.
Some of them have like a 9-volt little fan in there to keep it inflated, so it just spreads it around.
Yes.
You talk about people that like to smell their own farts.
Mm-hmm. By the way, Donald Trump talking about the vandalism.
We had vandalism. No, vandals. We have 100 and we have I think 290, 300-foot slit right through it, probably a box cutter or a knife of some kind. Or we had people lifting up the basic, some of the, it's not a lot of damage, but we'll probably have to let the water out and refix it. They went in there with a knife. I was just told by the people over at Parks, they have 5 people are arrested and 5 people are under investigation right now. And it's a sad thing. In addition to that, we put brand new, beautiful grass all around. They put these massive letters on the grass. You probably know about that, right? And they said 8647. They probably got that from the dirty cop, Comey. You know he's a dirty cop, don't you? Dirty cop. He's a crooked guy. They destroyed the grass. So that's a big thing. But we're going to get it back very soon.
Yeah, I saw the 8647 thing when I was on vacation. And I think I even tweeted it out. I said, this is why we can't have nice things. This is why we can't have nice things. So I love the fact that we are spending money to get it cleaned back up. Sadly, I guess we're going to have it guarded. They now have plainclothes officers out there. I read this morning, watching people as they continue to try to destroy this thing. So we'll keep you updated. By the way, we had I don't know if you saw this, Joan, some political violence, if you will, or some political malfeasance in Mount Juliet, where I live yesterday. I did not see this. Some 18-year-old Jack A ran around and started destroying political signs. So they caught him.
Particular persuasion?
So only the Republican signs.
Of course.
So you had Mark Pody and John Rose signs that were destroyed. You had a guy apparently 3 o'clock in the morning, I think it was yesterday morning, was out and he was destroying the signs. If you follow me on Facebook, you'll be able to see, and I'll have this full story coming up at 5:35. But the guy, I know that this will shock no one. But apparently he's a guy, but apparently he's got some trans sensibilities as well.
So it's a case of poor parenting.
It is definitely a case of poor parenting, I would say. And what is his name? Let me see if I can find the story just real quick. If you follow me on Facebook, you can see the whole thing on Facebook. But this kid, again, was an adult, 18 years old. He's going to be now charged with a felony. Let's see here. Tolerant leftist. Lebanon Road, Mount Juliet Road, North Mount Juliet Road as well. What is his name? Let's see here. Lucas Reiter. Reiter. Lucas Reiter. Who, by the way, Lucas, also goes by Aurora. And likes to dress up in sort of like goth makeup and dresses and so forth, I guess.
Goodness.
So anyway, we'll talk about that and a whole lot more straight ahead, 5:25. And Joan's got the news coming up at 6, Joan.
Yeah, teaching Christianity in Tennessee schools gets more protections with a new law that's coming up here. It's 5:30 at Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Good morning, 5:30. I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. Rain is gone now, and we'll have some sunshine today. It'll be less humid, too. Pretty nice at a high of 84 degrees. In Washington today, members of the House of Representatives will vote on a housing bill that's already been passed in the Senate.
The measure will loosen regulations to encourage more home construction, open up funding to convert abandoned buildings into new housing, and ban Wall Street investors from buying single-family homes so those homes can instead be sold to families. 5 Republicans voted against the bill, a recent report finding a nationwide shortage of 10 million homes.
That's ABC's Lionel Moise. A new Tennessee law takes effect next week on July 1st. It clears the way for teachers to talk about Christianity's influence on the founding of the USA. It's called the Charlie Kirk American Heritage Act, and it was sponsored by State Representative Mark Cochran.
I think it's almost impossible to teach American history without acknowledging Christianity's impact on it.
The law allows teachers to discuss topics, including the Mayflower Compact, references to divine authority and the Declaration of Independence, the influence of religious leaders on the nation's founding and history of the national motto, "In God We Trust."
The primary motivation for the legislation was really just some reassurance for our teachers to make sure that those folks who want to teach these concepts, that they know that there's nothing wrong with that.
That's News 2's Kelly Milan reporting. President Trump has signed 2 executive orders. They're designed to protect domestic quantum computing and accelerate its development for the U.S. Quantum computing uses abstract physics to supercharge a machine's computational horsepower well beyond what's found in an everyday computer. That is the latest news. Stick around. We've got traffic next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
Eighteen-year-old is
Looks like we still do have some delays on 24 this morning in the eastbound lanes through the Joelton area. That was the construction zone. That it looks like there's no construction taking place there, but as Sam has told us, they have torn up the roads there, and the debris is flying as you travel through that area. Be careful. Also this morning on westbound 24 through the through the Laverne area, up into the Nashville area. It's just minor slowing now. Touch of the brakes as you're traveling. And it looks like 40 is running okay. No problems on 65 so far. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
.536 Super Talk 99.7 WTN 615-737-9986. Joan, apparently one of our listeners is drinking heavily already this morning.
Already?
Yeah, I'll get to that.
Okay.
But first,
I told you not to read my texts on the air.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Sam needs a couple of shots to get through the show. Sometimes I feel like I need a couple of shots to get through the show too. Moving right along. So some tolerant leftist arrested for destroying political signs in Mount Juliet, apparently along Lebanon Road, North Mount Juliet Road as well.
So I'm reading the story. I have read it in multiple locations.
Yes.
Everybody that is reporting about it locally is saying that they haven't disclosed the nature of the political signs that were torn down.
All you got to do is look at the signs.
Okay.
Well, and
you've got Mark Pody, John Rose, and a dude named Joseph Padilla. That's a Zone 4 school board race.
Yeah.
They also destroyed signs promoting the 250th birthday party at Charlie Daniels Park. So now it's Wilson County, it's Mount Juliet. So you could perhaps say that, well, that's the only political signs that are out is Republican signs. Whatever. But they are Republican signs, and this guy's clearly a leftist because we also know that this guy who did this, allegedly, although apparently, Joan, he did admit that he did it.
He did. That I'm reading that as well.
Lucas Reiter, Reiter, and he went out 3 o'clock in the morning, as you probably read, Joan.
Mm-hmm.
He goes out 3 o'clock in the morning and starts destroying these signs. They used, wait for it, a license plate reader. To identify the vehicle in the area. Wonder if he was driving a Prius in the area.
That would just round the story out perfectly.
Wouldn't it, though?
Yeah.
So they used the license plate reader to identify the suspect. Later Monday, 18-year-old Mount Juliet teen Lucas Reiter was arrested, booked at the Wilson County Jail after he allegedly admitted to vandalizing the signs. He's been charged with felony vandalism.
It's a felony, people. It's a felony.
How long could he spend in jail, Sam?
Let's see. Felony.
Because I want them to throw the book at this guy.
Yeah.
I keep wanting to call him a kid. He's not a kid. He's 18 years old.
He's 18.
And he is responsible for his felonious felony crimes, and I hope that they do throw the book at him, knocks him in the head, and knocks some sense into him. Now, for the record, he is well within his right for free speech and free expression and all that. Destroying political signs and vandalizing, that is a crime.
Yeah, probably a Class E felony of damages between $1,000 and $2,500. Penalties being 1 to 6 years in prison and up to $3,000 in fines. I will preface that with first-time offenders, if charged with a Class E felony in the state of Tennessee, they are highly likely to get what's called diversion. Basically, you complete the probation and we'll wipe the felony off your record. Him being 18, I looked it up. His father is a tax attorney, or one of his fathers, apparently. And so they'll probably negotiate something that they're not going to end up throwing the book at him. I wish they would. I mean, he was promoted by, you shared it on your Facebook page, Democrats on the Hill as the Green Hill liaison for whatever social group. They've since deleted all that, by the way, on the Instagram page.
Oh, have they?
Oh, yeah. They deleted everything about the guy.
So they've got photos. So the local Republicans in Wilson County, they are putting this Lucas on full blast. Photos of him dressed up in really dark and goth type makeup with the name Aurora writer. So I guess he's trans or whatever, identity confused, whatever.
I definitely would say trans based on the post you made at one of the pictures at the bottom. This is a screenshot from his Instagram story. To the person who reported the trans rights graffiti because it offended them, you are a baby back crybaby bitchin'. I regret nothing. I'll gladly take 2 days of in-school suspension. He clearly doesn't respect authority or care about the consequences of his actions.
Well, there's also a sign where he was part of the ICE protest. Some people say that he led the ICE protests at Green Hills High School, and he's pictured in his goth trans getup with a sign that says, "Get the F out, you fascist pigs," with Nazi signs crossed out.
Very poorly drawn.
I was going to say, you know what I have in my notes? Fancy sign, dude. So if you want to find all of the pictures, go find me on Facebook at Dan Mandis Show. And this guy, again, clearly has problems with conservatives, has problems with authority, has problems with law enforcement as well. So, I don't know, not real surprising. I would like it if they taught this guy a lesson, but ultimately he'll probably move to Nashville and run for Metro City Council, and he'll probably win. I mean, he'll have a record. He probably, you know what, somebody like
They'll
this.
They'll like him more because of that.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Joan. Sam was talking about how they may expunge it from his record or whatever. He'll probably say, no, that is a badge of honor. Probably have his mugshot tattooed onto his, forearm or whatever. So it's just, for me, again, you couple this with what is going on in Washington, D.C. with the reflecting pool, and it's all insane. And the ever so tolerant left, my friend Allie had sent me this story after I got off the air yesterday, and because she and I both live in Mount Juliet. And, she talked about how, oh, look, it's another story about the ever so tolerant left, right? I mean, that's what's going on. And so this dude, his parents, I don't know. Some people are saying that he's got two dads. I don't know if he's got two dads.
He does.
How do you know?
It's public record.
Public record?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's got two dads.
Mark, I don't want to say his last name, but Mark is his dad's spouse/partner. And I guess has been involved in a local business, a donut shop out in Mount Juliet.
All right.
So.
Yep. So whatever. Anyway, bottom line is his two parents, two dads, must be very proud.
Two parents, extra sugar. Sorry.
But here's the thing.
We just don't gloss over the irony that two dads are raising a boy that wants to be a girl. I don't think you're doing it correctly, gentlemen.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, clearly, I don't know the dynamic in the house. I don't want to just. But here's the thing. Clearly, if this is what they have raised, then they might want to look at their parenting, or they might be very proud of this. See, that's the thing.
Yeah,
we don't know.
Yeah.
They might be, very proud of Aurora. When he's in the house, does he go by Aurora or Lucas? Would be one of my questions. Anyway. So, yeah, I hope they throw the book at him. Hey, Elon Musk is suing Ro Khanna. So, you know what Ro Khanna did?
Cool. I love this. Go ahead.
So, Ro Khanna, apparently, and I don't have the original audio, Sam, I don't know if you can find it quickly, but Ro Khanna basically said that Elon Musk and Doge is responsible for killing millions of children with the Doge cuts, right? So that's what Ro Khanna said. And Elon Musk got ticked off enough to say on X, okay, you know what? It's time to let the lawyers do the talking. I'm tired of this harassment. I'm paraphrasing. I'm tired of this harassment. I'm tired of the Democrats coming after me and making these absolutely horrifying allegations. I actually said to Amy last night, I said, the last guy you want to piss off is Elon Musk, who has a lot of money for lawyers. And I love the fact that he is saying, enough of all of this. Did you find the audio?
Yeah, he's on with Jennifer Welch.
That tells you everything right
The Center for what?
Jennifer Welch.
have no idea who she is.
Yeah, this is hilarious. And it's not that I could understand one thing if you're going to say that within our own borders. But now you are insinuating it's our responsibility to take care of 4.5 million kids around the world.
Right.
Go.
Believe that once we take power, there has to be accountability. There needs to be accountability for Elon Musk. You know, they're celebrating that he created 4,400 millionaires, but they don't talk about the 4.5 million children around the world who he possibly sentenced to death. But
okay, he can piss right off. Ro Khanna.
How are you? So we talk about accountability on our end, and it's trying to shine the truth on things. It's trying to point out when people have actually made mistakes. Accountability on their end is you took money that we were giving away and laundering from our pockets, so we're going to send you to prison for it.
And the other thing, talking about, I was on vacation, but when Elon Musk became the world's first trillionaire, and then the conversation, Joan, was, should trillionaires be allowed to exist? And it is such a ridiculous conversation on its face that I don't even bother to have that discussion. But then you start talking about all of the people that Elon Musk has helped to create wealth. There is one story, and I'm going to have to paraphrase this. Joan, you may have covered this when you were filling in for Chris. There is one story about a guy who worked for Elon Musk, and I forget exactly which company he worked for, but lower level guy, like definitely a lower level guy, but he was able to get some shares of Tesla.
He worked as a welder.
Yes.
Yeah. He
I
was
knew
actually
you would have
an
covered
immigrant
this, Joan.
from Mexico. I did, yeah.
He was from Mexico.
Yep.
And he got some shares of Tesla. Now, two things. Number one, that guy is now, I believe, is he now a millionaire, Joan?
Close to it, if not a millionaire, yeah.
So that's number one. But number two, what does that say about Elon Musk that no offense to welders, but a lowly welder in the vast company that is Tesla was able to get some shares courtesy of Elon Musk?
Yeah.
What does that say about what it's like to work for Elon Musk? Right? That tells you a lot about Elon Musk. That tells you a lot about what it's like to work for Tesla, at least perhaps back in the day, whatever. So the whole conversation about how many millionaires Elon Musk has helped to create, the jobs that he's been able to create and so forth. But then Ro Khanna is complaining by somehow saying that it is, to Sam's point, it is our responsibility to keep all of these children alive all across the world when we got people in our own country, we got children in our own country that we need to ensure that are taken care of. So I think that Elon Musk, I love that he said, all right, enough of this, Ro Khanna. You will be hearing from my attorneys. So now Ro Khanna, I've got video. So now Ro Khanna is, and in case you don't know who Ro Khanna is, he is a California Democrat, left as the day is long, and he is one of these guys that is just, he's a big talker. He's always on all the shows, and he's always, putting Republicans on full blast. So now he has pissed off the world's first trillionaire who can spend millions of dollars on attorneys, and he's going to do it to Ro Khanna. So now Ro Khanna is like, no, don't sue me. Please don't sue me. Why don't you just, debate me?
today, Elon Musk threatened to sue me, and he called on the Justice Department to put me in prison. That's right. The world's richest person has spent all day tweeting going after me. Why? Because I cited an academic study that his Doge cuts may lead to the deaths of millions of children overseas. Elon, I thought you were a free speech guy. Why not debate me on these issues instead of threatening lawfare? You're not going to be able to intimidate me. I'm the guy who stood up to the Epstein class and worked with Massey to get the Epstein files released. I'm the guy who stood up against AIPAC and called out a genocide. And I'm the guy who stood up to billionaires in my district who ran someone against me and still called for a wealth tax. So I'm not going to be intimidated or silenced. I need your help. I need the help of folks to sign this petition and help me stand up to power and fight for truth and justice.
So you know what that means, right? When he says help, he wants donations. So he's campaigning on it as well. By the way, on the super text line, apparently it was not Tesla, it was SpaceX, the welder. It was
yes,
okay, so it was
correct.
SpaceX?
Yeah.
So I was on the beach and probably drinking somewhat heavily when I saw, moving right along. Anyway, so yeah.
At least you can admit. That's the first step, admitting it.
It's exactly right.
And it just, this is such a poorly shot video. Like, his social media team, whoever decided this was the right idea, I'm going to stand in front of the American flag in the office. You know, don't lapel mic it or anything. Just let the AC unit be blowing in the background.
Yeah.
And it sounds like he came up with everything on the spot. What he did fits what I believe to be defamation of character. And now he's backpedaling. I said you may have sentenced 4.5 million children to their death. All Elon's team did was go, hey, here's where the money's going.
Right.
Then the federal government said, okay, now we're going to cut that because you've pointed it out to us. So how is that Elon's fault for exposing the innumerous amounts of fraud that we've been sending money around the world for?
And here's the other thing. The people voted for that. That was something that Donald Trump campaigned on. All right, so we got a drunk texter, Joan.
Yeah,
so
go on.
3888, right? And I'm just laughing about it. So 3888 is just going on and on. One of the things that he wants me to do is to get my lazy butt out of my chair and go tell the zone guys that the Titans suck. So I'm like,
okay,
dude, you've got the wrong station. He says, no, they just won't pay attention to me. So I want
you could just walk down the hall.
I want you to get up and go tell the Titans guys that the zone guys that the Titans suck.
In all fairness, we don't know that they suck yet.
Can I just be the one to take my camera with me and film it as you go down there and tell that 6 foot guy,
I was about to say,
7 foot guy, whatever?
Ramon Foster.
I'm going to go in and I'm going to tell Ramon Foster, who I love, by the way. He and I have great conversations.
Offensive lineman Ramon Foster.
Yeah.
By the way, the nicest guy in the world.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Love
giant heart.
Then he goes on to say Marsha Blackburn is Matt Murphy's
Oh.
I wish.
I have no idea what that means. I don't know what Matt Murphy said yesterday. Love Matt Murphy. Let's see. And he goes on. And some of this stuff I can't even read. But basically I said, you need to back off the morning drink. And he started talking, just some weird stuff. Just some very weird stuff that I'm not going to get into.
You should probably take that other super texter's advice, man. Smoke a bowl and chill.
Well, I wouldn't. I don't like to.
Said that.
I don't like to encourage drug use, but that might be a good thing for this person.
It's only an illicit substance until July 1st.
Anyway, moving right along. But I love all super texters. 615-737-9986. Let's see here. Oh, Brian says send Matt and Jackson to tell him to go with a Matt Murphy mess around. So if you don't know what that is, Matt Murphy, do you know what would be a funny Matt Murphy mess around? Find the most crazed super texters and find them at their job and go visit them at their job just for the hell of it. And not be nice, not be mean. Don't harass them. Just go say hi. Joan, we could bring them a station coffee mug.
We don't have station coffee mugs.
Joan, we could bring them a station T-shirt.
We don't have those either.
Joan, we could bring them a station.
We don't even have stickers.
I have. I collect dust while I'm in here.
Yes.
That's why we call it the dust encrusted news corner cabinet.
Right.
So I have some dust, and Ken and I name them. We stick them to the back of the sticky. Post-it notes?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we name them.
You name the dust particles?
There's Harry.
That's a good, you know what? If I was going to name a dust particle, I would also name it Harry.
Yeah. So we save them, and we could take those, just stamp it with something that says WTN, or I'll write it in handwriting.
How do you say, stamp either. Do we not have a vacuum cleaner around here?
We do, but I actually had to get the corner office to bring it to me. I'm not kidding.
Hold on. So you asked the corner office to bring you a vacuum cleaner so that you could vacuum the dust-encrusted news corner?
Well, so the office,
yeah,
the big office,
right,
didn't believe that there were crumbs.
Okay.
And then they blamed us for eating in the newsroom.
Oh, sure. Blame the victim. That's
Yeah.
what happens.
Because we have 7-hour shifts. We're not supposed to eat.
Yeah. And
I love this place. No, I love this place.
No. We love this place too.
Yeah.
But so did they bring you a vacuum cleaner and actually you vacuumed?
Somebody actually did come up and.
Because I will tell you, I have indeed vacuumed the way back when. I have vacuumed the newsroom. I have vacuumed the studio here, and I vacuumed Sam's room too.
Yeah.
Sounds like
you know
I'd
what?
make the
back
mess
when.
in here.
The excuse is that when the person comes to vacuum,
Yeah.
like during Matt's show, and so everybody's on the air and they don't want to interrupt the show.
Okay.
So they just don't do it.
All right. Very good. We got to go. 5:56. Joan's got the news coming
what
up at
time
6.
is it?
Joan, it's
Yeah.
5:56.
Okay.
Yes.
Coming up here, communism is on trial today. It's the primaries taking place in New York City. Got that story coming up at 6 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Good morning, 6 o'clock now. I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. Got your full forecast and traffic still to come here. It is primary day in several states, including in New York City. And ABC's Jared Kofsky says New York City's mayor could play a role in some of the Democratic primaries in that city.
Tuesday is Democratic primary election day in New York City. And while Mayor Zohran Mamdani is not on the ballot, the races are expected to be a key test of whether the Democratic Socialist mayor's influence could grow in Washington, D.C. Two of the progressive congressional candidates Mamdani has endorsed, Daria-Lisa Avila-Chevalier and Brad Lander, are taking on incumbent Democrats. Last Thursday, Mamdani and Senator Bernie Sanders rallied together in support of the candidates they're both endorsing. The polls in New York close at 9 o'clock Eastern. Jared Kofsky, ABC News, New York.
Now, President Trump has endorsed U.S. Congressman John James in the Republican primary for governor in Michigan. And right after that, the other Republican in the race, State Senate Minority Leader Eric Nesbitt, dropped out, and he endorsed James, too. A federal judge blocking the Trump administration from using certain immigration databases for checking the accuracy of state voter rolls. Last year, DHS revamped the system it uses to verify people's citizenship and immigration status to make it easier for state and local officials to use it to make sure voters are U.S. citizens. The judge in this case, Sparkle Suknanan in Washington, D.C., sided with advocates who argued that the overhaul made it less accurate and risked disenfranchising voters. Market numbers brought to you by Beacon Capital Management, online at beaconcm.com.
A sell-off in the tech sector dragged down the Nasdaq and the S&P to start the week. The Standard & Poor's gave up 0.4% Monday, the Nasdaq Composite 1.3%. The Dow gained 148 points to close at 51,713. Speaking of tech sell-offs, SpaceX share prices fell another 16% yesterday for a three-day loss of 24% since its IPO. Bullish investors are betting that CEO Elon Musk, though, will drive long-term returns at SpaceX. Summer driving season just got a little less expensive. The ceasefire between the United States and Iran has helped to drive gas prices down for a sixth week in a row. Gas Buddy says the nationwide average is about $3.85 a gallon. Lower crude prices are also likely to mean lower jet fuel costs, but not lower airfares, at least not yet. Travel industry analysts expect airlines that have raised ticket prices to keep them where they are, at least in the short term. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Well, that tech sector sell-off is continuing this morning. The NASDAQ futures are down now 856 points. S&P is falling 107. The Dow futures, they're minus 278 right now. Oil, however, is really looking good again this morning. Oil prices for Brent crude oil at $77.91 a barrel. And for the West Texas Intermediary, it's $73.90 a barrel. Pretty good. That is the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News. There's a problem on 24, the westbound lanes, just before Bell Road. You'll notice it's a big slowdown in that area. It's a crash, and the HOV lane is blocked off because of it. Pretty tough to get around it as well. If you're traveling on 40, heading in around the airport area, looks good so far this morning. We are starting to see those delays now as you merge 24 and 65 to the north of the city. Otherwise, things look pretty good. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Hands, and then he walked.
.607 Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Good morning to your friends. Hope you are doing well, and welcome on in to a Tuesday, June 23rd. And, of course, negotiations continue with Iran, and there's been some progress. A lot of the media seems focused on some silly stuff. We're going to get into it. But, for example, I don't know if you saw this, Joan. There was a moment where the Iranians came back in, and there was one guy from the Iranian delegation, their foreign minister, and the media has been obsessed with the fact that this guy seemed to blow off.
Yes.
Yeah, J.D. Vance.
Yeah.
So with everything that's going on and all of this that's happening, the media breathlessly go to the vice president and ask him if he, felt blown off by the foreign minister of Iran, who I guess refused to, shake his hand and kiss both cheeks. But by the way, I'm perfectly okay with somebody not kissing my cheeks, particularly if they're from Iran.
Yeah.
Sir, very quickly, there was a moment yesterday when Arachi came into the room and did not greet you. You guys did not shake hands, and then he walked out of the room. Did you feel snubbed by that? Did you feel it was an intentional move on their part? How did you interpret what happened?
No, I mean, I trust me, I've spent a lot of time dealing with the Iranians over the last few months. Sometimes I find them extremely confusing as negotiators. But look, we had a little press conference. They obviously don't quite have the same First Amendment protections in Iran that we have in the United States of America. We talked to you guys and then had a series of really good meetings. What I did find kind of funny is that after that initial meeting, there was this, sort of social media firestorm where everybody said the Iranians are going to leave, and then we proceeded to talk to them for like the next 9 hours. So I would just encourage the media, mistrust a little bit what you see coming out of Iranian social media. They can be confusing negotiators, but we feel like we're making progress.
All right, so that is J.D. Vance, and the other part
Did you catch what he accused them of there?
Go ahead.
He accused them of using what Iran's media says in the U.S. media, which is exactly what they've been doing.
One of the things I find fascinating with all of this, and they've been doing that for a long time, but one of the things that I find fascinating is that for our own American media, they truly are rooting against America. And there's some Republicans that are doing this too, as a matter of fact. I mean, the question is going to be this. When it comes to the nuclear deal or whatever it is that we end up coming to an agreement with Iran, if we ultimately do, is that, when you look at history, and I'm going to try to get a history buff on here to get into some granular detail. But when you look at the agreements that have ended wars, more often than not, there's a lot of compromise on both sides. And all sides, generally speaking, have not necessarily been happy with the ending agreements. That's unfortunately just the way this goes. But as far as progress goes, since we last spoke yesterday, here's some bullet points as to where we are. And Joan, feel free to jump in here. The Iranians apparently have now agreed to allow inspectors from the International Atomic Energy Agency to resume inspections. That's great. That is progress. However, let's not forget that this same organization had access, and I'm putting the word access in air quotes, before. But that access was also very limited.
Yes.
During the Obama administration and during the couple of years that it was that his nuclear deal was in place with Iran, the inspectors were not allowed to visit military sites whenever they wanted.
And sometimes they would show up and then get turned away.
Yes.
It happened frequently.
Iran would fight them.
Yeah.
And so the inspectors are like, well, wait a minute, what are you doing? Why can't we? Joan, when you tell your kids, I want to see your phone, and you surprise them.
Yeah.
And they're like, no.
Not right now, Mom.
Not right now, Mom. Let me have it for a few minutes while they clear the history. You know exactly what they're doing.
Okay, Google, delete my browsing history.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. So here's another difference about what's going on now versus what happened with the JCPOA. Under the JCPOA, it relied on a phased-in compliance. So any new framework would require immediate access. This is what's happening now. So it used to be with the JCPOA, they would phase in new phases, and then the nuclear inspectors would be sent. With this case, with the one that J.D. Vance has negotiated now, they have to allow inspectors in immediately.
Yep.
And no restrictions. They can't say, oh, you can't go here. Not today on this. If they do that, they are in non-compliance and bombs start dropping.
Anywhere, anytime. That is what we need as far as the access goes. Anywhere, anytime. And I saw a story you know what's been very frustrating, Joan, about covering the whole Iran story is that...
Only everything. Go on.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Is that... You read something and then it like disappears.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So when I was on vacation, there was a story where Iran said that they were going to allow American inspectors into Iran. And I'm like, okay, but I can't find that anywhere now. You've got the International Atomic Energy Agency, and this is, by and large, most people, I guess, will tell you that they are very good at inspections when they're allowed to do their jobs. But I want inspectors from America. And maybe, by the way, the International Atomic Energy Agency, maybe they do have Americans. Maybe they do have Israelis that are in this particular agency. I don't know. But my bottom line is I want to ensure that we can get into anywhere at any time for whatever reasoning we have to inspect any part of Iran. Underground, in their military installations, whatever. Because under Obama's deal in 2015, the access was there, sort of, but not great access, or what we needed to see if they were cheating.
I want them to be able to go into the Iranian palaces anywhere they want to go, anywhere.
That's exactly right. So then the president, Trump, made this announcement yesterday, which I thought was surprising.
One of the things that we are doing also, and it came up last night, is money that's being unfrozen is going to be used to buy food, and the food's going to be bought exclusively through the United States from our farmers. And corn, soybeans, all of the things they need are going to be bought from our farmers. So our farmers are very happy. I've had a lot of calls. They were very happy about that.
All right, so that's good news. We have soybean farmers here in the state of Tennessee. Big news for farmers across America. Iran has roughly 93 million people. So they produce, I looked this up, they produce a lot of their own food, but they import quite a bit as well. Now, the big problem in Iran is self-inflicted, right? So they've got really high inflation in Iran because of all of the sanctions that have been placed on them because they simply cannot behave. So most, if not all, of Iran's problems are self-inflicted, and it's because they fund terrorism. That's part of the anger of the people in Iran. They're angry with their government because they spend so much time funding terrorism and angering the rest of the world that they don't pay attention to the impact on their citizens because they keep getting sanctioned, deservedly so. And by the way, I know that this will shock all of you. As soon as Donald Trump said this, I don't know if you saw this morning, Joan, but as soon as Donald Trump said this, Iran comes out and says, no. We're not under any obligation to buy America's food.
I know. Yeah.
Again, Donald Trump says something, Iran denies it, And so it goes.
And so NBC, CNN, ABC, they'll all pick up the story. They'll all pick up the words of Iran and say, Iran says, we're not buying American food. No way.
So then who knows what the real truth is?
Yeah. Well, they do that intentionally to confuse the situation.
Well, they do it intentionally, Joan, to make Donald Trump look bad.
Absolutely.
That's what they're trying to do. 6:15, time to check the roads on WTN.
Rural Hill, 24 westbound before Bell Road. We've got an accident blocking the HOV lane. No problems on 65 or 40. No unusual delays on 440, 840 running accident free. I'm Christy O'Brien.
Mostly sunny today, less humid, and a high of 84. Appreciate you listening to Super Talk 99.7 WTN. A reporter also asked President Trump yesterday if Iran has leverage over America.
Live up to their agreement, or if they're not behaving, I will do what I have to do.
Does that give them leverage over you, Mr. President?
Say it?
Does that give them leverage, the Iranians leverage over you?
Oh, you're so leverage. Their Navy is gone. Their Air Force is gone. Their leaders are all dead. Their whole country's a mess. Their economy is shot. The Times, the fake New York Times said, oh, it's about the same as it was 4 months ago. No. 4 months ago, they had a Navy, 159 ships to be exact. It's gone. The whole Navy's gone. Their 250 airplanes, all gone. Anti-aircraft is gone. Their radar is gone. These guys love radar. Their radar is gone. Everything's gone. Their leaders are gone. Their whole country is gone.
All right, so that is Donald Trump, and obviously a familiar talking point for the Trump administration, and it is a good one. And a lot of that is true, but we've destroyed their military. But I think that those folks who are paying attention have one simple question, and it's a question that I've had, which is, we've destroyed their military and it's all gone. How do they still have the ability to keep the Strait of Hormuz closed? That's the problem. So we're really good at blowing stuff up, but for some reason, they still have the ability to close the Strait of Hormuz, and they're going to keep doing it. And this is the problem that we have. We need to figure out how to keep them from impacting the waters of the Strait of Hormuz, international waters. Nations are supposed to be able to flow and sail right through those waters. And now it looks like, and we covered this extensively yesterday, where Iran and Oman, it looks like with this deal, they may have the ability to charge tolls to nations sailing through the Strait of Hormuz. That is going to be a bad thing. Donald Trump has come out and said that that is not ever going to be allowed. But in the memorandum of understanding, it says that is not allowed only for 60 days. Perhaps they're leaving it in for a negotiating point, whatever. But this morning now, J.D. Vance has come out and said that the discussions regarding Hezbollah and Israel are, and this is a quote, a work in progress. And that is an understatement to say the least. Can I just say this? Conservatives, we're really battling over these various points about, again, lifted sanctions and unfrozen assets and the rest of it. Iran has been at war with us for years. Donald Trump is simply trying to end this once and for all. I, for one, appreciate his efforts. I'm here to tell you, and I've been saying this literally since day one, that whatever the end result of this fighting is going to be, it's not going to be perfect. I can tell you that. It's not going to be perfect. I have listened to hours and hours of talk radio, of talk show hosts across the country, and they go on and on and on about all of the failures that they see within this memorandum of understanding. Number one, this whole thing is a work in progress. I get what Donald Trump is trying to do. At the end of the day, are we going to be able to get the satisfaction of saying, man, we really kicked their teeth in. We really kicked their arse, the Iranians. Are we going to get that satisfaction? Are we going to get the satisfaction of being able to say that we killed every single one of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard and the people that we've been battling with for many, many years? Probably not. We're not going to get, I don't believe, that moment of satisfaction. But as I said a little bit ago, often at the end of these wars, the resulting agreements are not what everyone wanted. Compromise is everywhere. And we don't always like compromise, especially these days. But is everybody happy at the end of wars with the ending agreements? No, most oftentimes not. There are points that we may not be in agreement with, but that is part of the negotiation. So we'll have to see ultimately where this ends up. Have I lost faith in Donald Trump? Like I've heard some talk show. No, I've not lost faith in Donald Trump. I see what he's trying to do. I see what he's going for. Is this going to be a success? Is it possible that Iran will realize the error of their ways in funding all of this terrorism? And they'll start on the straight and narrow once they see sanctions lifted, unfrozen assets, and being able to sell oil on the open market, and somehow magically they will no longer fund terrorism. Do I think that's a possibility? Slight. Would I prefer that we just bomb the living crap out of them and kill every one of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard? Absolutely. But does that solve the problem? I don't think that it does. This is a tough one. But Donald Trump is doing his level best to get this long-standing problem taken care of. At the end of all of this negotiation, we'll see where it all ends up. Again, can we trust Iran? No, we can't trust Iran. That's why, as I've been saying since day one, it's all about access. 622 and transparency. 622 on Super Talk 99.7. By the way, Matthew Hurt is going to be joining us at 6:35. Got a lot to talk. Did you hear what Hillary Clinton said?
Again, like she's always saying something.
She is out there saying that the Electoral College is an abomination. They are still talking about 2016. Still talking about 2016. So I'm going to ask Matthew Hurt a couple of things. We're going to talk about Iran. He is our grassroots political analyst. We're going to talk about Iran. We're going to talk about Hillary Clinton, the Electoral College, and some other things as well. Really looking forward to that conversation. And at 6:30, I'm also looking forward to Joan Jones' next newscast, which is going to be...
Yeah, Dan, they're kind of a sad story. A teenager has died after a racing accident in Shelbyville. That story is coming up here at 6:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Thank you very much. 623, and credit card interest rates are now over 29%. And most people are only making the minimum payments. So they're getting nowhere. But here's what a lot of homeowners simply don't realize is that using the equity in your home, you can easily access hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash when you go through Loan Pronto and their rapid equity loan. You can pay off your credit cards, your existing HELOC, your car loans, or get money for that home improvement project. Now, one client just got $100,000 approved and saved over $1,500 every single month. Now, here's the best part. With Loan Pronto, you can do it all from your phone with zero out-of-pocket expense, no hard credit pull up front, no appraisal, no long drawn-out bank process, and no touching that first mortgage. Now, right now, rates are at near 3-year lows, so you've got to act right now. Go to loanpronto.com and see how much money you can get in about 60 seconds. Loanpronto.com. 2,800 5-star Google reviews, 615-499-5780, 615-499-5780. Find them online anytime. It is loanpronto.com. Loanpronto.com, equal housing lender, NMLS 166-1781, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Good morning. It's now 6:30. I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. Got your forecast and your traffic still to come. A teenager who was taking part in a racing event in Lewisburg on Saturday has been killed. It happened when his car was involved in a crash and it flipped over on top of him.
It was probably the most horrific accident that I've seen at a track. It's just the way the cars hit and the momentum when they started flipping, and I don't think you could have created a worse accident than what had happened.
That's Duck River Raceway's Russell Booth. Witnesses say that 17-year-old Bentley Potts was apparently not wearing a seatbelt or a helmet. He had been ejected from his vehicle. A freak incident with a Tesla that ended up in the death of a woman inside of her home is now explained.
Investigators say 44-year-old Michael Butler has told them that his Tesla Model 3 was in self-driving mode when it accelerated down a suburban street and crashed into a house, killing the 76-year-old woman inside. Tesla's vice president of Autopilot posted on X that Butler had manually overridden the self-driving mode and had accelerated to 73 miles per hour before the accident.
That's ABC's Jim Ryan reporting. It appears it is the end of the story for Nancy Guthrie. Federal law enforcement now saying that the second of the original ransom notes claimed that Guthrie is dead. Here's Todd Pyro at Fox News.
The note said Nancy was, quote, buried with nature. The sender or senders of the first two ransom notes have not been publicly identified, and there have been no reported arrests in connection to them. The notes were received within days of Nancy Guthrie's disappearance. The first note demanded millions in Bitcoin in exchange for Nancy's return.
Now, that note also didn't apologize for her death, nor did the abductors demand payment for the return of her body. That is the latest news. Stick around for your traffic and weather ahead. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
Had lots of rain yesterday, and oftentimes after that type of storm or storms, we had two, you might find some water in your basement or your crawl space. If you do, you've got to call my friends at United Structural Systems. They are the experts in waterproofing in Middle Tennessee. You know, these types of issues, they do not get better over time. As a matter of fact, they get worse without the proper fix, and that's where USS comes in. United Structural Systems, I can tell you from personal experience, they have treated me right. Communication was outstanding. The work was excellent. Customer service was top-notch. Now, these folks at United Structural Systems, they've been helping Middle Tennesseans for a long time because they do it right the first time, and they are going to treat you right. And if you don't have the money right now, well, they can help you with special financing. That's right. With USS, you can get a 10% discount when you pay in full, or fix it now, pay it later with 18 months, no payment, no interest. Or you can choose option 3, 36 months, no interest with low payment options for qualified home buyers. This is why I so appreciate USS United Structural Systems. Call them, tell them Dan told you to reach out. 615-488-7855, 615-488-7855, USSTN.com.
Yeah, they're still working the crash scene on 24 westbound this morning. It's before Bell Road. It's in now the right shoulder. They've removed it from the HOV lane, but it's in the right shoulder. Lots of slowdown around it. You've got a crash, too, at Percy Warner. It's on Page Road at Bell Mead Boulevard. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
.636, I apologize. I'm here. Don't everybody panic. You know what I was listening to? Hold on, let me get Matthew Hurt. Matthew Hurt joining us on Super Talk 99.7, our grassroots political analyst. Matthew Hurt, how are you?
I'm out here stealing yard signs, Dan. Things are going well.
Yeah, you're stealing yard signs, are you? Maybe destroying some signs as well, some political signs and all that?
Yeah, but are you wearing a dress?
Yeah, are you wearing a dress and goth outfit as well?
I've got one dress in the closet for these activities, so if they catch me, it's over.
So I'm listening to this. The reason I was late coming in is because I just saw this video of Graham Plattner, right? Of course, running for Maine and all that. And the person who posted it says that what Graham Plattner said is, thanks to Planned Parenthood, I've been able to get tested for STDs. So I was listening to this to see if that's actually what he said in the soundbite. Now, I wasn't able to. So you want to discover if he actually says this together? Because I don't know if he actually said this or not. I wasn't able to get that far in. So this is Graham Plattner. This is audio only. But this is Graham Plattner, and he's talking about the greatness of Planned Parenthood.
What's the word? I got STI checks.
All right, so STI, that is a...
It's STD is a lifelong illness like HIV or AIDS.
Yeah.
STI is the infection. That would be the...
Like herpes and that kind of thing?
No, that's an STD because it's a disease you live with. STI is an infection that's short-term treated by antibiotics and stuff like
but
like
how,
chlamydia.
Oh.
Gonorrhea.
Okay.
I can keep going on from the 9th grade health book.
Nope, I'm all good.
At the Portland Planned Parenthood. And it's not an embarrassing thing, it's a smart thing to do, especially when you're younger.
Gee, I don't know. When I was younger, I never had to get tested for chlamydia and all those other things. Whatever. Anyway, Matthew Hurt. So that the pride, I guess the point I'm making, the pride of the Democrats admitting that he had to go to Planned Parenthood to get tested for STIs and so forth. I don't know, man. I keep asking, is there going to be a bottom to Graham Plattner? And it just seems like it just keeps getting lower and lower.
Well, Dan, look, if you're Graham Plattner and you're married to your wife, but you have a Kik account and you have some kind of arrangement with her, it's probably responsible, I guess, tongue-in-cheek, to make sure that you don't bring something home to your wife. So it is absolutely insane what's going on in that Senate race. And as we have talked about before, this is a vote blue no matter who. I mean, this guy is going to continue to have stories break about him, and he's going to try to make light of them like he has here. But it is not a tough decision for Maine voters this year. But Democrats are going to spend millions to get him, to drag him across the finish line.
So when you say that this is going to be something that is not a tough decision for Maine voters, so are you saying that you're confident that Susan Collins is going to win in the general?
Well, that is not what I'm saying, but I mean, we're 2 or 3 election cycles the other side of it does not matter who the person is who's nominated by my party. Yeah. The TDS it extends far beyond the yard sign thefts in Middle Tennessee. It is orange man bad, and anytime there's an opportunity they are going to vote. And this is also why, and I don't want to drag us a different direction on the conversation, but it's also why the stories in D.C., like the Reflecting Pool and the Kennedy Center, anything that has Trump's name on it, just reminds Democrats that Donald Trump exists, and so it does make it a little more difficult for somebody like Susan Collins up in Maine to get her own message out, because the far left is the TDS is through the roof. It is immeasurable at this point, and they are just going out to push the button for whoever is not Donald Trump.
You know, putting aside the Kennedy Center thing, Matthew, we were talking about the vandalism of the Reflecting Pond and how incredible it is that you've got these people dressing up, I guess, in frog costumes, and they're saying that they're Team Algae, and apparently somebody cut the linings. Somebody may have dropped some algae into the reflecting pond. I mean, do you think that normal Americans are going to look at this kind of abhorrent behavior and say, I can't be a party to this, I can't vote for this kind of derangement? Or do you think that, you know, for a lot of Americans, it's just like,
That's a great question, Dan. I think most Americans they see it in the news. Now, what is happening in real time, what happened yesterday, is plainclothes officers are approaching individuals. And here's the thing, the far left is going to use any method to protest. And this is the key takeaway for listeners. We think of protests as showing up at Legislative Plaza, but the far left will do almost anything, including drop biohazardous or algae material into the reflecting pool, pull up a square of the paint. They will think of anything they can to protest, and that is what they call it is protest, but it is in fact vandalism, and it looks like law enforcement is cracking down on that. And that is separate from Donald Trump's name being on a building or the kinds of the arc in Arlington, all of that. I think they're very separate issues, and most Americans say, hey, why don't you just leave this alone? We spent taxpayer money on beautifying it. It looks nice. The reflecting pool looks really nice. Let's not do this. Most Americans don't want to go out and vandalize as a protest.
Okay, so do you think the Trump derangement syndrome, then we're going to move on, but do you think the Trump derangement syndrome is going to end? Let's just go a couple of years ahead. And let's just say that either J.D. Vance or Marco Rubio are running for the presidency, and let's just say they win. Will the Trump derangement syndrome simply convert to the Marco Rubio derangement syndrome or the J.D. derangement syndrome? Or do you think it ends with Donald Trump when he leaves office?
Well, there's two answers to this question, Dan. The first answer is Trump derangement syndrome will exist for as long as Donald Trump is able to get a post out on Truth Social. And the second thing is I can't fathom what the next wave of derangement will be. From 2016 to 2026, if we had time traveled back to 2016, I could never have imagined the level of TDS today here, and so I can't possibly predict. I'm not Miss Cleo. What the next thing is going to be, but it is a steady move toward insanity that has actually just ruined people's ability to reason and have conversations with people.
All right, so coming up, we're going to do traffic real quick, but coming up, there's a new Netflix documentary, apparently Hillary Clinton, saying the Electoral College is an abomination. I'm going to ask you about that and a whole lot more straight ahead. 6:45, time to check the roads on WTN. As far as your weather goes today, mostly sunny, less humid, and a high of 84. So Hillary says that the Electoral College is an abomination, obviously still complaining about 2016. This is why the Democrats, of course, want to abolish the Electoral College. What are your thoughts?
Well, so I'm really interested in seeing this as part of the American Experiment 5-part series on Netflix. But Hillary Clinton's opposition to the Electoral College goes further back. She has opposed the Electoral College since the Bush-Gore election. She said in 2000, and I quote, "I believe strongly that in a democracy we should respect the will of the people, and to me that means it's time to do away with the Electoral College." So she was avant-garde, ahead of her time in belief of the abolishment of the Electoral College. And there is a move in states called the National Popular Vote Compact, where states in Virginia just entered into this. Basically, far-left legislatures are enacting laws that say if the popular vote, if the national popular vote goes to one candidate, we're going to award our electoral votes to that person. And right now, the states that are involved have 222 electoral votes. So if enough states get to 270 electoral votes, it will be a problem for probably for Republicans. But as we know, Donald Trump won the popular vote in the last election. But this definitely is handicapped in favor of the far left and Democrats.
And Kamala Harris, this is becoming, of course, a big conversation these days again, just because they're asking Kamala Harris about it. We're heading into the midterms, and then beyond that, of course, is another presidential. So the Democrats clearly, they want to dismantle the Electoral College. I think that there's no doubt that they want to do a lot of things like stack the Supreme Court. There's a lot of discussion these days, especially with the New York primary that is going on today. As a matter of fact, Mamdani has been jumping in. Mayor Mamdani has been jumping in, and he has been giving his endorsement to the socialists that are running in New York. They're calling them Democrat socialists, whatever. But there's a lot being made of the socialist bent of the Democrat Party these days. What do you think is ultimately going to happen with the Democrats? Are they going to just go full-on socialists? Are they going to try to sort of, gray it over with this Democrat socialist moniker? Or what are they trying to do?
Well, in states like New York, where you can have a third-party or multi-party ballot line, and so for instance, if you vote in New York City, a Democrat socialist may also appear on the Democrat Party line, so you could vote for either of those, and those votes would be tallied. What we're seeing here is called the Overton window, and this is if your listeners imagine a window along a line, things can either move toward more freedom or more control. And things like the Democratic Socialists used to be outside of the window. Inside the window is what is in the realm of political reality. But things outside the window pull the window one direction or another. So if more Democrat Socialists file and run for office and they get a respectable number of votes, in fact, there's a Democrat Socialist who won the primary for mayor of Washington, D.C. So all of these things make it more politically possible for outright socialists to get elected. And then also the Democrats, seeing the writing on the wall electorally, will adopt more of those policies. So I do think this is a continued trend toward far-left authoritarian socialism within and among the Democrats.
Do you think that when I said they're trying to grade over, they're trying to sanitize the term socialist by putting Democrat socialist in front of it? Do you think there's a difference between a Democrat socialist and a socialist?
Not at all, Dan.
Okay.
Not in practice.
Yeah. Keir Starmer stepping down there in the UK. I think clearly there's a lot of problems going on in the United Kingdom. You're talking about, obviously, Muslim immigration. They have allowed that. They're allowing the rape gangs that have been, the grooming gangs that have been happening in the UK. Their economy is crap. They've not been supporting Donald Trump as well. I don't know how much that had to do with what has happened to Keir Starmer. But, just a couple of years ago, he had this massive election landslide. Now he's had to resign. So, number one,
United Kingdom.
Number one, what happened? And number two, how will this impact people in Middle Tennessee?
Well, number two, not much.
Yeah.
But there have been 6 prime ministers in 7 years. The big issues, and for listeners who are interested, on the global level, the big issues are immigration and economics and affordability. And we're seeing the immigration issue, obviously, in the basically 16 years of rape gang investigation, where both conservatives and labor swept it under the rug. That is why we see the rise of reform in a multi-party system, more than two parties. You can have these kinds of things. But the takeaway I want folks to think about here is Labor won, Keir Starmer's government won a mandate 2 years ago in 2024, and now they are in shambles and possibly on the outs. If Andy Burnham becomes prime minister, he may call what they call a snap election, which they get to decide when there's going to be an election. They go to the king and they say, we'd like to have an election. They dissolve parliament, and then there is an election. And if Andy Burnham is the savior that the British left thinks he is, they may win more seats, but it may not be the case. And so the takeaway here is anything can happen in 6 months, 18 months, or 2 years in an electoral cycle to change the psyche of the voter. And that is true in Great Britain, and it's true in Tennessee, and it's true in Washington.
And that Burnham guy, isn't he? I've read that he is more leftist than Keir Starmer.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I just think what I saw, and I do quite a bit of British TV and commentary, what I've seen over the last 6 months is basically a death by 1,000 cuts. If there was one scandal after the next that really plagued Keir Starmer that forced him within his own party to have to withdraw this week.
Iran. So a lot of conservatives out there doing battle over the Iranian possible nuclear deal, the memorandum of understanding. We've been talking about it a lot here. So what do you think about J.D. Vance, the memorandum of understanding, what has been negotiated and what is continuing to be negotiated, and the Republicans that are battling over this deal?
Ooh, Dan, this is tough to handle in about 90 seconds. I was not in favor of going to Iran. I think that the big positive thing is that we've decimated their military capability, although in your last segment you did mention the Strait of Hormuz. They don't have to have a robust military to keep things tangled up there. I think that it will be difficult to trust the Iranian people. I do, though, however, like that Vice President Vance is part of the negotiations. I think he is well equipped to handle this, and I've been pleasantly surprised. I also think last week, at the end of the week, obviously there are different objectives in the Middle East. The United States has a different objective than Israel necessarily, and I think J.D. Vance, Vice President Vance, made some strong comments to make sure that whatever is happening in the Middle East is in the interest of the United States, and I think that's ultimately a good thing.
You know, one of the things, and I did make mention of this in the last segment, and you probably heard it, but, at the end of every conflict, you have usually a negotiated settlement, a negotiated peace plan. Nobody's ever really happy with them. There's a lot of compromise that has to be made on all sides. I assume that's probably what's going to happen here, unless we end up just having to bomb the crap out of them.
I think you're right there. The compromise is where both sides get little of what they actually want and move toward the direction of what both parties want, and I think that's what we're going to see here.
Matthew, I can't see you right now. I'd be willing to bet, though, that you are wearing black because Tucker Carlson has now officially left the Republican Party. You going to be okay?
I almost never wear black. Black is for tuxedo events and funerals. I'm usually in blue, but what I will say is there is plenty of room in the conservative movement for people to have robust conversations, and folks can find my conversations on X at Matthew Hurt, MattheWHEWHURTT.
All right, and we'll talk to you next time, and appreciate it, Matthew. It is 6:53, Super Talk 99.7. Apparently he has no comment on Tucker Carlson announcing that he is leaving the Republican Party. So I will go ahead and say it for me. I could give two craps if he is in the Republican Party or not. Tucker lost me quite some time ago. I don't know, Joan, if you have a comment on Tucker. I wasn't really surprised when he came out and said that the Republican Party has nothing left for him, which is fine.
I think that none
Felicia.
of us, none of us have anything left of Tucker Carlson for us.
It's like, whatever, dude. I'd go
I
ahead.
have black on my shoes, and with the shoes, I'd like to just kick them out.
Don't let the door hit your arse on the way out, Tucker. All right. I guess that's all I got. 6:54, and Joan's got the news coming up at 7. Joan.
Yeah, Major League Baseball walks back its fines for people who put Bible verses on their hats. Yeah, that story's coming up here at 7 o'clock on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Dan Mandis here for my friends at Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. They always want to save you money on AC service and repair. They also want to send you on a beach vacation. I've got to tell you, I just got back from one. Amazing, and Busy Bee wants to send you on your own. Now, summer is officially here. Right now, you buy any new home AC unit this month, the month of June, you are entered to win a free 3-day beach getaway. Busy Bee is also going to pay for your gas, your lodging, and a couple of meals a day. Check out all the details at busybeehvac.com. They're also saving you money with 10% off their deluxe air duct cleaning package or 5% off the middle tier. So, with Busy Bee, you're saving money and you're cleaning the air inside your home. They've also got a lot of ways to save on plumbing work as well. Take $100 off any service over $500 or 10% off select water filtration systems. Call them. Tell them Dan Mandis told you to reach out. 615-775-7833. 615-775-7833. busybeehvac.com.
Good morning, 7 o'clock. I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. There's been an arrest in the shooting death of a 12-year-old boy in downtown Nashville. Demarion Moorhead had gone with a group of other people to meet up for a fight. Channel 4's Steve Mailing with more on that.
Police say footage shows a group of people ganging up on 24-year-old Devin Orr. And once Orr pulled a gun, the others ran off, and Orr fired a gun in their direction.
The first question is self-defense. Could he argue, the person who was arrested, argue that he fired in self-defense? Yeah, I think that he can make that argument.
One of the two shots fired hit Demarion in the head, killing him. Orr has been arrested and charged with criminal homicide.
Now, that's attorney David Rabin speaking with Channel 4 there. The new acting director of national intelligence, Bill Pulte, started his tenure by purging the agency of personnel, what NBC called the deep state firings. President Trump named Pulte as acting director this month. Talking about it on Truth Social.
The president earlier this month said he had asked Pulte to execute the immediate and needed downsizing of the office. Democrats, in a letter yesterday, warned Pulte not to take actions that are, quote, more appropriately left to a Senate-confirmed director, adding that Pulte has shown a willingness to misuse his authority in government to pursue President Trump's perceived political enemies and further his retributive political agenda.
That's ABC's Karen Hua. Major League Baseball blinking. The organization has announced that no players have been or will be fined for writing Bible verses on their rainbow baseball caps during Pride Night. It comes after the DOJ launched a religious discrimination investigation into that controversy and after a minor league team in Pennsylvania forfeited a game rather than being forced to wear specially designed Pride uniforms.
Love it.
That's a great story, isn't it? Another incident of a federal judge stepping in to stop the Trump administration's agenda. This time, a federal judge in Washington, D.C. ruled that the effort to stop SNAP benefits from paying for soda and sugary snacks is not legal. That judge said the Department of Agriculture needs Congress's approval to change the definition of food. And a former Predators goalie, Pekka Rinne, has been elected to the Hockey Hall of Fame. Happened yesterday. He'll be inducted November 9th. Rinne played 15 years in the NHL, all of them for the Preds. He now serves as Nashville's European development coach and scout. Market numbers brought to you by Beacon Capital Management, online at beaconcm.com. Stock futures really slumping this morning. There's been a sell-off in the tech sector, and the NASDAQ futures this morning are down 786 points. The S&P futures, they're minus 92. Going to be a rough start on those two indexes. And the Dow futures right now, minus 204. That's the latest news. We've got traffic and weather next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News. Nashville, we've got a crash on Nolensville Pike. Watch it. It's right at Swiss Avenue. It's also pretty slow on 40 eastbound in Fairview, just before the Fairview-Dixon, Tennessee exit, number 182. That's a crash scene as well. Pretty slow on westbound 24 heading in, pretty much the normal volume delays through the Laverne area. And you've also got it slow this morning in that in the merge between 24 and 65 as you head in from the north. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
.706 Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Joan, I'm having so much fun today on the Super Text line. I don't know if it's because when I was on vacation, I really, really missed the listeners.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I missed you and Sam, too.
I was just wondering, did you miss us as much as you missed the listeners?
This is where you can put in the crickets, Sam, if you'd like, when you ask if I... There you go.
I knew it.
So one guy, 3927, because I'm engaged in conversation. It's what I do every single day, and I appreciate that. So 3927 says that the Republican Party has turned into zombies, basically saying that we support Donald Trump no matter what. Now, I disagree with that because I've disagreed with Donald Trump on plenty, and I've talked about it. But he says there is a clear and obvious group within the conservative movement that have abandoned their own values to support Donald Trump. So I asked him, okay, what values are we talking about? Because I think that Donald Trump, and I'm genuinely curious, the only two that I can think of where Donald Trump is not necessarily conservative, actually there's a few now that I think about it. Tariffs. A lot of people would say that tariffs is not free market. Okay, so that's fine. That's a legit conversation. You could say no new wars, right? Because the argument would be that we started a war with Iran. Others would say, well, no, we're trying to finish the war with Iran. But I understand that argument as well. When Donald Trump said, he wanted to bring in, how many was it? Was it a couple 100,000 Chinese students? Was that how many it was, Sam?
600,000.
600,000. I lost my ever-loving mind on that. But here's the thing. We have the conversation. I'm not afraid if I'm a zombie, like 3927 says, that I'm a zombie and I'm selling out my values to support Donald Trump. No. But I'm not willing to just completely abandon Donald Trump or the Republican Party because I have some disagreement with Donald Trump on some issues. He is still far better than we had under Joe Biden or would have had under Kamala Harris. So I don't think that there are, listen, 3927, he is most certainly allowed to have his opinion, clearly, and I value his opinion and everybody's opinion. But I don't think that the Republican Party is a bunch of zombies who are blindly following Donald Trump. There's a lot of people that I know within my conservative group who are frustrated with Donald Trump. But you know what? I get frustrated with family members as well. I get frustrated with friends. I get frustrated with coworkers. Sam. You know what I mean? So these are things that just
I saw that one coming.
Under normal circumstances, we deal with our frustrations. Now, the Tucker Carlson thing, I think that dude has turned into an absolute Fruit Loop, and good riddance to him. Same with Candace Owens. But from a normal person perspective, like the three of us, or most people that listen to WTN, yeah, you know what? We are going to have disagreements. We had the thing the other day. We had a Daily Dan poll. Something about, do you trust Iran not to use their money that they're going to get from the unfrozen assets and the lifted sanctions to fund terrorism. 100%. I think it was like 96% of the people said they don't trust Iran. Now, does that mean that Donald Trump is doing something wrong? As I said in the previous segment, I get what he's trying to do, but I'm not willing to completely abandon my support for conservative values and ultimately what Donald Trump stands for because of the one issue, which is Iran. Now, I'm telling you that this could end up really bad for us, but the other thing is it could end up really good for us as well. Didn't you have a story earlier, Joan? The price of gas keeps going down? So
Yes.
we're in, what, 6-7 weeks now where the price of gas is going down?
I just passed a gas station this morning, $3.17.
Yeah, my favorite gas
wow.
station is $3.29. So listen, we're not always going to agree on everything.
And so the funny thing is, one of the local stations today says, what a terrible thing for President Trump. Gas prices are going up. And I'm like, what? Where are you getting your news from? Gas prices have been trending down, down, down. It's nuts.
Yeah. Let's see. 2805 says this: the day I wake up and turn the show on and hear you guys bashing Trump for some of the things he's been doing is the day I'll believe you. Dan. 2805, he hates me, right? So 2805, for whatever reason, listens every day. But he used my name at the end of a sentence, which is very hostile. I've always felt that. So I don't know, 2805 clearly doesn't listen very carefully, but I criticize Donald Trump plenty. Am I a flippin' nut job like some of these people? No. I feel like I'm pretty reasonable in my criticisms of Donald Trump and my praise of Donald Trump. I'm far from a zombie, even though some of these people like 2805 will say that I'm a zombie. I don't care what you say, 2805. I'm simply not. But I'm curious. Here's my question, and I don't think can we figure this out, Sam, in a Daily Dan poll? Even though you may disagree with Donald Trump on Iran, because we got to be honest, a lot of Trump supporters disagree on Iran. I think that is perfectly clear. And I think that it's perfectly reasonable to have concerns about what is going on with Iran. I get what he's doing. There's, I believe, some strategic errors, some tactical errors that have been made. But here's my question. Even if you disagree with President Trump on Iran, do you still support the president overall? I think that's a good question, right, Joan?
I think so.
All right, a reasonable question. I want to know. Because, by the way, if you'd like to completely ditch, your entire support for the Republican Party because you think that we've all become a bunch of zombies, then go ahead. Stay home in the midterm elections. Go ahead. Stay home in 2028 and see what you get. You want to talk about zombies? Look at what the hell happened with Joe Biden and the media and the Democrat Party when they let in millions of illegal aliens. And we're still trying to deal with that. So if you really want zombies, then go ahead and stay home in the midterms. Go ahead and stay home in 2028 and see what happens. People are forgetting how bad the economy was under Joe Biden. People are forgetting how bad the crime was under Joe Biden. People are forgetting the vaccine mandates. You weren't allowed to work unless you got an experimental vaccine. Are you forgetting about all of that? Just saying. Lord, man. All right. 714 Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Super text line is open, very active. 615-737-9986. 615-737-WWTN. Let me see here. Dan, ask the guys on the other side of the aisle, why did they continue to support Joe Biden when his mental capacity kept declining and it was evident it was declining, but everyone was okay with his lack of mental sharpness. And they keep allowing, something about lying to the American people. Yeah, and they lied to the American people. Absolutely. Anyway, it is 7:15. Joan was, whoever's, time for traffic on WTN. far as your weather goes, mostly sunny today and less humid and a high of 84. Appreciate you listening to Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Let's see here. Ben Crump. Anybody heard of Ben Crump? Well, once I tell you who he is and what he's saying about Tennessee, you will join me in telling him to go pound sand. So Ben Crump is a race hustler akin to, the likes of Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson. I guess, Sam, is it suffice to say that Ben Crump is the newest version of Jesse Jackson or Al Sharpton? That's basically what he is. So he just said this on the socials, Ben Crump. Tennessee just passed a law requiring proof of citizenship and English proficiency just to get a driver's license. What they are calling public safety, immigration lawyers, and economists are calling a barrier to growth. 30 years, he says, of progress in this state could be undone by a law that targets people who are here legally, working, and contributing to our communities. He says we must pay attention to legislation like this. So says race hustler Ben Crump. So number one, consider the source. This dude, Ben Crump, again, fancies himself as the new Sharpton or Jesse Jackson. But beyond all that, he's calling out the state of Tennessee. So let's respond. First of all, our conservative state legislature and our Republican governor all voted for the people of Tennessee. They were all voted for by the people of Tennessee. Simply wanting those driving vehicles to know how to speak English. Now, I don't believe that is that much of an ask, do you? I mean, they got to know how to read the signs. They got to know how to communicate. I'm certain that they know what a middle finger means, but beyond that, who knows? But our conservative state legislature and our Republican governor, they were elected by the people of Tennessee. These are the kinds of things that we voted for. But the funny thing is that the people that he wants, that Ben Crump wants to have driver's licenses, can't even read his post on X. Yet he believes that they should drive. Why should we have tests in multiple languages? My opinion is, should be in English only. That's what the people of Tennessee want. That is what we paid for. That is what the people of Tennessee voted for through our representatives. There are many, many, many examples of Americans killed by illegal alien drivers. You know it. I know it. I've done that monologue literally hundreds of times over the past 12 years here and well before that. Sometimes they're drunk. I don't have to give you examples. I'm not going to argue that water is wet. By the way, let's also not forget the illegal alien truck drivers as well. Same thing. Many Americans killed by those guys on the road, given driver's licenses in places like California, the state of Washington, and the state of Oregon, to name just a few. So here's part of what he says. I want to dissect Ben Crump's post. Tennessee just passed a law requiring proof of citizenship and English proficiency just to get a driver's license. What they are calling public safety, immigration lawyers and economists are calling a barrier to growth. Do you know what a barrier to growth is? A barrier to growth is not knowing the predominant language of the nation that you're living in. That is a barrier to growth, Ben Crump. Also, not going through the process of legally coming into a country, also a barrier to growth. Also, by the way, the Tennessee Star points this out. Tennessee passed a law back in 2025 to limit standard driver's licenses to U.S. citizens. Lawful permanent residents get temporary credentials that are marked differently from those that actual citizens get. Whatever. Ben Crump goes on. 30 years of progress in this state could be undone by a law that targets people who are here legally, working and contributing to our communities. We must pay attention to legislation like this. I would say yes.
Well, but what if let's say they're here legally, right? and they're working and they're contributing. That's great. Now let's say you go to do business with one of them, one of these people that doesn't speak English, right? How are you supposed to effectively communicate and do business? You want growth. I want growth financially and economically as well. But how can you, are we just supposed to rely on the technology in our hands and play Google Translate, pass back and forth? Is that the expectation here, Mr. Crump?
Apparently so. I would say that states do need to pay attention to legislation like this because other states should do this as an example of how things should be done at the state level to combat illegal immigration. And as far as targeting people who are here legally, well, if you're here legally, then provide your documentation. That is step one to getting that license. Now, just learn enough English to get that license. It's laziness.
Hey, Dan, if you lived in Germany for 20 years, would you expect everyone around you to learn English, or should you learn German?
I would learn German. If I lived in China, God forbid, I would learn Chinese. If I lived in Japan, same thing. You know, if I lived in another state, or I should say in another country, I think that it would be part of the experience to learn that culture and to learn the language.
You don't say.
Why is it that people that come into our country from other countries refuse to assimilate? You know, we had all of these people that came into our country for the World Cup, right? Talking about how great our country is, which is true. Our country is great. And so why can't the people that come here to live recognize that greatness and want to be part of our culture?
And to that point, you've got like the Dutch and the Norwegian soccer fans that are here, and they're speaking English.
Yeah.
Because at least in their countries, it's part of the curriculum that when you graduate high school, you've got a proficient base level of English because it is the dominant language throughout the world.
By the way, I don't think the laws here in Tennessee go far enough, be honest with you. This is from the Tennessee Star. Listen, once effective in January 2027, the law will require, here in the state of Tennessee, it will require those applying for Tennessee driver's license to submit documentation providing citizenship and to complete an English proficiency exam. If they fail, applicants will receive a non-renewable license valid for just 36 months. Guys, that's like 3 years. After which, they must pass the English proficiency exam to obtain a valid driver's license. Well, so basically what our state legislators are doing is they're allowing non-English speakers to drive in this state for 3 years. That defeats the purpose of the legislation. Now, I get it. I mean, what they're basically saying is you got 3 years to get your act together. You got 3 years to figure out enough English to pass the test. But I think if they don't speak English, don't allow them on the road. That's my opinion. We're allowing these, by the way, these restricted licenses where if someone cannot pass in English, again, they can take it again. But until that time, they can still drive to work, school, medical appointments, and the like. It just means that, again, they don't have to learn English. They can get this restricted license. And I am sure that they can be trusted to only drive to school, work, and medical appointments. Oh, Mandis hates immigrants. No, Mandis doesn't hate immigrants. Mandis hates illegal immigration. But you know what Mandis really, truly wants? What Mandis really, truly wants is these folks to come here legally, assimilate, and help make America a better nation. That's what I want. And they'll never be able to help America become a better nation if they don't assimilate. That's what I want. I don't know why this is so bad. By the way, while I was gone, Sam, read with rapt attention that there is this plot to kill people at the UFC fight on the White House lawn.
Oh, yeah.
Whole plot hatched by an illegal alien. 7:25, time to
at least
find.
he had the decency to speak English about it.
Yes, and he had and of course he had the smiling mugshot.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, it is.
Goofball.
It is, what'd you say, Joan?
Goofball.
Goofball. 7:24. Joan's got the news coming up at 7:30. Joan.
Yeah, Congress could actually take action on an issue that's important to Americans today. It may happen. It's not going to be the Save America Act, but it will be something. We've got that story coming up at 7:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
With America's 250th birthday coming up next month, we need to appreciate our freedoms like never before. Like, for example, the Second Amendment. Now, I choose to celebrate that incredibly important freedom with the Glock store. Now, right now, the Glock store is celebrating our freedoms with all the Glocks at great prices. They've got incredibly rare imported Glocks, law enforcement specific Glocks, and military style Glocks as well. That's what they mean when they say they've got all the Glocks in stock and on sale. Now, if you want specifics, the guys at the Glock store tell me currently they've got the European Hunter G45, the Thai Commando G19, the French military G17, the FBI issue G19, and that super rare Gen 5 Cutaway Euro Edition. Now, I'm not going to pretend like I know about all these guns, but I know that you do, and if you want to check them out, go to the Glock store today, tomorrow, the rest of this month, and next month. Bottom line is, go to the Glock store, because when they say that all Glocks in stock, they really do mean it. So if you're a handgun fan, it is worth a visit just to see all of these incredible Glocks. That is the Glock store, minutes from the airport and worth the drive from anywhere. Check them out online, glockstore.com, shoot270.com.
Good morning, 7:30 now. I'm Joan Jones with your top stories, and we have your full forecast and traffic still to come here. In Washington today, members of the House of Representatives are voting on a housing bill that's already passed in the Senate.
The measure will loosen regulations to encourage more home construction, open up funding to convert abandoned buildings into new housing, and ban Wall Street investors from buying single-family homes so those homes can instead be sold to families. 5 Republicans voted against the bill, a recent report finding a nationwide shortage of 10 million homes.
That's ABC's Lionel Moise. A new Tennessee law will take effect next week on July 1st. It clears the way for teachers to talk about Christianity's influence on the founding of the USA. It's called the Charlie Kirk American Heritage Act, and it was sponsored by State Representative Mark Cochran.
I think it's almost impossible to teach American history without acknowledging Christianity's impact on it.
The law allows teachers to discuss topics, including the Mayflower Compact, references to divine authority and the Declaration of Independence, the influence of religious leaders on the nation's founding and history of the national motto, "In God We Trust."
The primary motivation for the legislation was really just some reassurance for our teachers to make sure that those folks who want to teach these concepts, that they know that there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, it's News 2's Kelly Milan reporting. President Trump has signed 2 executive orders designed to protect domestic quantum computing and to accelerate its development for the U.S. Quantum computing uses abstract physics to supercharge a machine's computational horsepower to well beyond what's found in everyday computers. That is the latest news. We'll have traffic and weather next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
Hey, it's Dan Mandis, and I'm just back from vacation where I did all the cool beach things, parasailing and boogie boarding, long walks, and even some beach frisbee and, yes, roller coasters. Now, it feels so amazing to be able to do all of this. You know, there was a time that I could not because I was sidelined with chronic back pain. Then I heard a commercial just like this one and called the Wellness Institute of Nashville. After a few sessions of non-surgical spinal decompression, I did start to feel a lot better. And these days, I am better than ever, doing things at the age of 58 that I could not do at the age of 45. Now, one thing that really does impress me about Dr. Kevin Mitchell and the Wellness Institute of Nashville, they really do embrace new technology. These days, check out their Medical Bay 1, a futuristic healing machine that uses red light technology and stem cell stimulations for tissue regeneration and healing. Now, you mentioned my name. You get $33 off each visit. It is the Epic Spinal Special. Call them. Tell them Dan told you to reach out. 615-246-5009. 615-246-5009. Find them online anytime. It is painisbad.com. Painisbad.com. Hey, it's Dan Mandis. If you feel like your energy is down, maybe your sex drive isn't what it used to be, it's harder to work out, your focus is off, you just don't feel like yourself, it could be low T. That's right. It may be time to head to the Low T Center. You know, getting older is part of life, but feeling exhausted all the time, that doesn't have to be. Go to the Low T Center and feel better than you have in years. About 1 in 4 men do have low testosterone, and for many guys, the symptoms happen so gradually that you might not even notice, or you just assume that it is stress, it is work-related, lack of sleep, or maybe you think it's just part of aging, but it's not. At Low T Center, providers specialize in hormone health and testosterone replacement therapy. They're going to use lab work and symptoms and health history and personal goals to create treatment plans tailored for you, because no 2 men are exactly alike. Now, TRT may help support energy, focus, libido, body composition, mood, and overall quality of life. They can help you because you don't have to settle for feeling less than your very best. Low T Center works with most major insurance providers. They offer a free testosterone test for men who want answers. Find them online, fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com. Tell them Dan Mandis told you to reach out.
Okay, it is Fairview this morning on 40 eastbound at Fairview Dixon. The through lanes are all blocked off. Drivers are getting around an accident this morning on the right shoulder. Very jammed up in that area as well. Nashville, Nolensville Pike at Swiss Avenue, an injury crash. At the Hermitage, 40 westbound at Central Pike. Watch for a crash there. One more in Hillsborough, West End. You've got West End Avenue at Murphy Road. Jammed up this morning around a crash scene there as well. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
$7:37, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. All right, so Joan Jones and Sam Rutherford. Joan, you there?
I am here.
Got to respond, Joan.
Standing by. Sorry, standing by. Yes.
The radio audience doesn't respond to waves.
Mm-hmm.
So just to prove that yours truly actually will take requests as a talk show host, I've been asked to play this latest Kamala Harris word salad. Now, I don't know if you've heard this or not. I have not.
Oh, yeah, I think I have.
Have you heard it already?
Let me see the background.
Somebody probably, I think this is a day old.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. She was on Don Lemon's broadcast, and I guess she's talking about like the light inside of her or something like that. I don't know. But this is Kamala Harris. So I am responding to this for the first time because I have not heard this. Joan, a lot of you folks, maybe you've heard this already. Maybe somebody already played it on WTN. But she's on with Don Lemon, and here is the latest word salad from Kamala.
I really, truly believe this. We each have light inside of us. And we need to know that that is what inspires our hope as much as anything external to ourselves. And when we feel that and not allow an election or an individual to dampen that light, and instead let that light kind of carry us, in particular through moments of darkness, that we not only act on that hope, but we inspire that hope in each other. And in particular at this moment, it is so important that we not only have hope, but that we understand that that should be a verb.
Okay.
It's a verb. It's a verb.
That
fruit salad, yummy, yummy.
It isn't. Basically, what she's saying is be positive.
Yeah.
Right? Like
yeah.
Am I? Why did she?
No, I think you got it. Yeah.
46 seconds of I don't know. Okay. Can I ask a question? How is it in the conservative state of Tennessee? There's not been one like restaurant that has come up with like a Kamala salad, like a Kamala word salad. Kamala. What would be in a Kamala salad?
Lettuce and vodka.
Lettuce and vodka. You know what? The
Everybody
dressing
knows
would be
she likes wine.
The dressing would be vodka, right? That's what you could do. And just a whole mishmash of stuff because that's kind of how she sounds when she speaks. Do you think she was drunk? Like in that? Because she's talking to Don Lemon. Even Don Lemon sounded a little... Do you think when Don Lemon is listening to this 46, 47, whatever, do you think that he's thinking, oh, awesome, this is going to go viral and people will see me? Because he looks a little confused.
Any attention is good attention. Remember.
Yeah. Whether you've got a failed presidential candidate or storming a church in Minnesota, any content for Don Lemon is good content.
Yeah, I don't know. I understand why people, like during the Biden administration, right? So if you want to go political on all this, I remember during the Biden administration when I was in this chair, and at the tail end of the Obama administration, I was in this chair, and I did get frustrated with the policies because the policies impacted me. So I would say that, yeah, my light was dampened a little bit by who was in the Oval Office and by an election. And by the way, the other thing that she said here, and correct me if I'm wrong, Joan, but isn't she basically saying don't let an election impact your light inside of you? Is that basically what
she did?
So
stop being...
Can you tell that to the Democrat Party, Kamala Harris? Because they're crazy right now.
Yeah, stop doing things like holding signs, wearing frog costumes and holding signs that say Team Algae on it.
Yes, it's so crazy.
Yeah. I mean, they've really...
I mean, I'll take that over firebombing Tesla dealerships, though.
There's the firebombing of the Tesla dealership.
Yeah.
There's the assassination culture of the Democrat Party.
Oh, yeah.
The whole UFC thing you mentioned earlier, like, you know, those are the people whose light really needs to be cared for, Kamala.
Yeah, it is just so weird. Can I also say this? And I don't know if this is something, and I'm going to tread a little lightly here because I don't like to necessarily make fun of people's looks, okay? I'm certainly not one to talk. But Joan, have you noticed the latest trend in TDS hairstyles amongst both women and men?
No.
The 1-inch bangs.
Oh.
The bangs that are like really, like they go up on the forehead and they're like straight across.
Oh, the terrible bowl cut bangs?
Yeah. Have you noticed that?
I have.
What is that? Like, is that part of TDS? I haven't seen any Republican or conservative women do that.
To a degree, from what I can gather on the social meds, it's like a silent protest to femininity. Like,
what that is?
It's kind of what it is.
Oh,
I'm going to have this androgynous, semi-ugly hairdo, but I'll still be beautiful because my gender and society doesn't define my beauty. I do. That's their.
Do you know what's so funny? Those are the same women that go on sex strikes.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
Okay.
They're the same
right
ones
on
that wear
ahead.
nose rings.
There's a razor section at your local pharmacy that is just dying for you to stop by.
Oh man, yeah. I see. I knew that observation couldn't be just me. There was something going on with the really weird 1-inch bang bowl cut.
It's accompanied by an array. And listen, my wife has 7 or 8 piercings in one ear, but it's accompanied by a bunch of piercings, particularly in the nostril and septum area.
Yes.
And occasionally, again, not bashing this, the gauges at the earlobes, which stink.
Ew.
The gauges are the gauges the ones that leave like a big loopy hole in the ear?
Yeah. Not knocking gauges. I have friends with gauges. And those friends smell abhorrently.
What makes them smell, the gauge? Is it just because you've mangled the human flesh?
Yeah, and then you let some piece of plastic or something, sit in there for hours and days on end. And
Can we not talk about this?
Dan went there with the hair. It's part of a whole uniform.
You know what? All I'm saying is that there's something weird going on with the left, and we've seen this for the last 10 years now, the insanity, and they're only getting worse.
Yeah.
I've really stopped being mad about all of this. I just find it all sort of bemusing. Do you know what I mean?
You're just like you're sitting there, and oh my gosh, there's another one.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say
anymore. Did it
anymore.
happen at the beach, or you just started to see? Oh, okay. Multiple.
Do you know what?
That haircut walked by.
Can I tell you what surprised me about? It really surprised me from the free state of Florida. Shocking. I'll tell you coming up next. 7:45. Time to check the roads. WTN. As far as your weather goes, mostly sunny, less humid, high of 84. Sam, can you look up, why does Florida have paper straws?
Because they're... Yeah, you know what? That's a good question. They have paper straws?
Yes.
They actually have sea turtles to worry about.
It's the free state of Florida. Well, if it's so free, why can't I have a plastic straw? I was not happy because they're just gross.
Where were you?
I was in Clearwater, and then I was in Orlando. So we went to the beach, and then we went to
some blue. But Florida does not have a statewide law requiring paper straws.
So is this maybe part of just like the local businesses or whatever?
City ordinances in places like Miami and Fort Myers Beach have those ordinances that ban or restrict single-use plastic straws for environmental reasons.
Okay, and you know what? If they're doing it to protect the fish and all that kind of stuff, fine. It's kind of funny, though, because you're in a state where the vast majority of people are actually eating fish, but you want to protect them from the plastic straws, apparently.
Well, I mean, you can't eat the ones that are wrapped up in plastic straws.
That's true. And having watched a video of a plastic straw getting removed from a sea turtle's nostril, I get it. But that doesn't mean up here in Tennessee I have to suffer, right?
Okay.
But here's the thing. It's also free. If they choose to not serve with plastic straws, that's a choice.
Yeah.
They're not being told that that's what they have to do.
Fair point. Now, do either of you, when you buy a 6-pack of beer or soda or whatever, do you actually rip the plastic thing they come in to protect the rapey dolphins and the wildlife?
It depends. Is it going in my fridge? Then I'm probably going to leave it assembled. If it's going in the cooler, well, then I need to break it down for space in the cooler.
But I'm saying that at some point you're going to throw that plastic thing away.
Yeah.
Do you rip it up?
Yeah.
I do.
So you rip it up. So Sam, you rip it up.
I do.
And Joan rips it up as well. Okay.
I can't really get a beer out of there without ripping it up.
You're in good company because Amy does too. And I said one time, what are you doing? And she goes through this whole monologue about how the plastic things are killing the rapey dolphins and wildlife and the, walruses, whatever. And so if you don't rip them up, then somehow they get tangled up in them. And that's why you rip them up. I'm not saying that anybody here is a leftist if they rip up the thing. All I'm saying is I thought it was interesting. I didn't know that. I still don't rip them up. Even if I probably should, if I want to stay married, would like this one to work out. Anyway, whatever. All right, 748, Super Talk 99.7.
Besides, we don't like it when you're ugly in the morning because you have a bad family life.
I am never, what do you talk? I am never ugly in the morning.
Occasionally.
Okay, so the people listening are hearing once a week. You know what?
I could say it happens once a month.
I have yet to tell you to shut up today, Sam, but I'm getting close. I'm never ugly.
Must be that time.
I don't think I'm. Joe, seriously, am I ugly in the morning sometimes? I'm always nice to you people.
You're always nice to us.
Well, if you're not ripping up the plastic 6-pack holder, it's because you want wildlife or sea life to strangle or choke.
Is that what they're saying online? Sam is reading his computer.
It's the main reason the plastic loops can easily entangle animals, especially birds, sea turtles, fish, seals, and other marine life.
Okay, so you know what? I'll start ripping it from now on. That's
somebody said 4702, buy a 12-pack and you're saving the wildlife.
It's true. It comes in a cardboard box.
Yeah.
Like how you think.
Oh, there you go.
When you asked me if I buy a 6-pack, I was like, for who?
That's just before dinner.
Not before dinner.
The problem in my house, real quickly, the problem in my house is that Mountain Dew, Diet Mountain Dew, which is what Amy drinks.
Bottles.
Yeah, they don't come in 12 packs. Do you know how many, fun fact, do you know how many 6-packs of Diet Mountain Dew we will buy every single week? Joan, I want you to guess. How many 6-packs of Diet Mountain Dew does Amy buy every single week? You people are going to be shocked when I answer this question.
How much could you drink, honestly? Two 6-packs?
Okay, so you're saying 2 6-packs. Sam.
I'm going to go 6.
Sam, you're right.
Yep.
What?
Because
Amy will buy a total, 6 times 6 is 36.
Yep.
36 bottles of Diet Mountain Dew. And she has the audacity years ago to start criticizing the amount of coffee that I drink. We will have 6-packs, because you know what they do at the grocery store?
They do the whole buy 2, get the third.
Yes. Yeah.
I started to think, I'm like, well, she could get a 24-pack. But if she was buying 2 more, then she actually saves money.
I said, this is why America is obese. Because it's like, Now she's not. But
let's just say this is Diet Dew.
Yeah, it's Diet Mountain Dew. But I mean, yeah.
Does it have the same amount of caffeine in it as regular Mountain Dew?
That I don't know.
Probably.
That I don't know. And then usually by about Thursday afternoon, Friday morning, it's like, hey, can you stop by and get me some Mountain Dew? It's like, you're already out of you've drank 36 bottles? Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot of Mountain Dew.
Is that why she's all jacked up?
I don't know if she's all jacked up.
That's a saying. I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
I've never heard that before, but okay. 7:52, Joan's got the news coming up at 8. Joan.
Yeah, the noticeable police presence at the Lincoln Memorial Reflecting Pool. We've got that and more coming up at 8 o'clock on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
$7:53, Dan Mand is here. I need to make a formal apology to my listeners. I need to apologize for not getting my vision corrected sooner and for not encouraging you earlier to call Dr. Horn and all the vision pros at Vision for Life. Now, in all seriousness, I have had now lens replacement surgery well over a year ago, and I can tell you firsthand, it has been life-changing. You don't realize how much you're missing when you're living with blurry or cloudy vision, driving, reading, maybe just seeing people clearly across the room. Everything these days is sharper, brighter, and a lot easier. Now, whether you're dealing with cataracts, age-related vision loss, maybe you're just tired of glasses and contacts, Dr. Horn has a solution tailored to your eyes and your lifestyle. Now, the procedure is quick, it is painless, recovery is fast, and yes, the results speak for themselves, so stop putting it off like I did. Call them, 615-436-2020, 615-436-2020. Find them online, visionforlife.com, visionforlife.com to schedule your consultation, and tell them Dan Mandis told you to reach out. 7:57, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Jonah, I'd like to thank you.
For?
0026 is now saying that I'm the meanest host.
Apparently you opened a can.
Yeah.
So now
that's it's the funniest thing because you're like the least offensive.
No, I don't know why
host.
you said that I'm ugly in the morning. I don't understand why you would say that. Now people are piling on the super text line. That's not very nice, Joan.
Were your feelings hurt?
A little bit. Totally kidding. But now Sam is telling me that is the impression apparently that I give off when I'm talking about a topic and there's somebody that disagrees with me. I actually don't believe that that's true. I like to have conversations with people that disagree. If you people think about back when I was in middays, I can think of only one old lady that I yelled at.
You yelled at an old lady?
I did because she made me mad. She deserved every loud word.
Okay, so what did she say?
I don't even remember.
See?
She's probably dead now too. But whatever.
Oh my God.
What? It's like 10 years ago. She was really mean.
I was just going to say she probably bashed sangria or something.
Do you know, I think it had something to do with drinking, actually. I don't remember what it was, though. Anyway, whatever. All I'm saying is that I don't understand why you said that, Joan, but now people are piling on and saying that I am, and I'm not. I'm whatever.
I think I did it for that effect.
Is that what you did?
It's just kind of funny, yeah.
Okay,
because
good.
people, they like to get on you, Dan. And it's funny that they do.
Yeah, I don't know why. Now my phone is blowing up, too.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, I have not heard from Amy about my attack on her Mountain Dew.
That might be
addiction.
the most valid rant about your in-home stuff that you've ever had, though. I'm with you on the Mountain Dew addiction.
By the way, Joan, people are saying that the walrus or whatever that was with the straw up the nose, that was a photo op. So you fell for the leftist propaganda.
Oh,
I thought you were smarter than this, Joan.
I just thought the walrus had a cocaine problem.
Could be that too. Although when you snort cocaine, don't ask me how I know, but you use the smaller straw, not the. Ask Hunter. Hashtag ask Hunter.
Yeah.
Where do you get the smaller straw?
You cut
I
it
think
with scissors.
you probably cut it with scissors. But again, I've never.
I watched a Hunter how-to video.
That's exact. It was part of the laptop. Anyway, all right. Coming up after the news at 8, I've got. Have you heard? I had this in my stack yesterday. It's a little dated, but the whole thing with Jonathan Karl. And about how
now, because there's so much about him.
How they're talking about how he needs to be thrown in jail because he was supposedly vandalizing the reflecting pool.
Jonathan Karl was?
You haven't heard the story?
Huh.
Oh my goodness gracious. Okay. I'm gonna educate Joan Jones coming up next after the news at 8 here on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Good morning, 8 o'clock. I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. It is primary day in several states, including in New York. And ABC's Jared Kofsky says that New York City's mayor could play a role in some of the Democratic primaries in that city.
Tuesday is Democratic primary election day in New York City. And while Mayor Zoran Mamdani is not on the ballot, the races are expected to be a key test of whether the Democratic Socialist mayor's influence could grow in Washington, D.C. Two of the progressive congressional candidates Mamdani has endorsed, Daria Lisa Avila Chevalier and Brad Lander, are taking on incumbent Democrats. Last Thursday, Mamdani and Senator Bernie Sanders rallied together in support of the candidates they're both endorsing. The polls in New York close at 9 o'clock Eastern. Jared Kofsky, ABC News, New York.
And President Trump endorsed U.S. Congressman John James in the Republican primary for governor in Michigan. Within hours, the other Republican, State Senate Minority Leader Eric Nesbitt, dropped out and endorsed James as well. There's a noticeable police presence at the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool as more evidence emerges that it's been vandalized. Here's Press Secretary Carolyn Levitt.
These deranged leftists in algae costumes with Team Algae on their backs. What does that even mean? Only the Democrats could hate beautifying our nation's capital and making it a symbol of pride again.
President Trump said yesterday he has photographic proof of somebody cutting a 350-foot gash in the pool's bottom coding. A federal judge has blocked the Trump administration from using certain immigration databases for checking the accuracy of state voter rolls. Last year, DHS revamped the system it uses to verify people's citizenship and immigration status to make it easier for state and local officials to use it to make sure that voters are U.S. citizens. Well, the judge in this case, her name is Sparkle Suknanan, and she's in Washington, D.C. She sided with advocates who argued that the overhaul made it less accurate and risked disenfranchising voters. Well, it could cost more to become a U.S. citizen now. With a new rule proposed by the Trump administration, DHS would increase the paper filing fee from $760 to $1,300. It would also eliminate the fee waivers used in some cases. You can expect this one to land before a federal judge as well. Market numbers brought to you by Beacon Capital Management, online at beaconcm.com. We still have a half hour before the opening bell, but the futures market is looking pretty bad this morning. There's been a tech sell-off, and today the NASDAQ futures are minus 892. S&P futures right now minus 106. Those are some big losses. More than just about 3% for the NASDAQ futures. Dow futures are also down. They're down 237. That is the latest news. Stick around. Traffic and weather coming up. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News. June Lake on 65 northbound, just past June Lake Boulevard. There's a stalled out semi truck. It's in the right lane and it's causing a big backup there. Belmont at 65 north at Wedgwood Avenue. You've got an accident reported on 40 eastbound. This is between I-840 and Fairview Dixon in the Burns area. It's stop and go traffic. It looks like an earlier crash there and delays are just now thinning out. Woodbine, Thompson Lane, west of Nolensville Pike, working on a crash scene there too. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
'806 Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Super text line is open 615-737-9986. All right, so Jonathan Karl. Now, you don't like Jonathan Karl, Joan?
I have never liked Jonathan Karl.
Okay. So Jonathan Karl is with ABC News. We've been talking about the reflecting pond and the vandalism that has been going on.
Yeah.
So I guess this was over the weekend. I saw last weekend. I saw it. And he is covering the reflecting pond. He is there for ABC News. He's, very on the spot reporting, right? This is on, we got video here, Sam. And so he decides that he is going to reach into the reflecting pond and lift up part of that. Part of that. What do you call the thing? The thing that was cut.
The liner.
The liner.
Yeah.
Why can't I have a pool liner. I don't know why I'm having a mind block on that. So he pulls up the pool liner, and I'm going to play the audio for people on the radio. Watch this if you're watching on YouTube.
I'm here at the Lincoln Memorial Reflecting Pool, and some astounding developments regarding this project, which the president himself has taken such a great interest in. You remember $14 million was spent to drain this whole thing and to paint the bottom American flag blue, was the color he said, to make it reflect more magnificently. As you can see, it's all green now. They know that. They're trying to kill the algae. But as they're doing that, something else has happened. Check this out. That American flag blue paint, it's peeling away. The $14 million job to redo the bottom of this reflecting pool is falling apart before our eyes. The algae is still here, but the paint appears to be going away.
So he was, again, for people listening on the radio, he's holding it. He's not ripping it off. He's just simply holding it so that people can see what's happening. So Trump sees this and loses his ever-loving mind.
Ever-loving mind, yeah.
Yeah, and so he posts on True Social, Donald Trump posts on True Social, lightweight ABC reporter Jonathan Karl was seen sticking his hand into the pool and trying to rip the rubber off of the surface, he claimed. Look, that's not what Jonathan Karl was doing. As much as I'd like to see Jonathan Karl thrown into jail or prison for crimes against journalism, he was not trying to rip the rubber or the liner off. That's not what he was doing.
Here's what else bugs me about this. President Trump next week will call Jonathan Karl in the off hours and have a conversation, a 3-hour conversation with him that Jonathan Karl will report on erroneously.
He calls him a lightweight.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I don't get it.
So, U.S. Attorney for Washington, D.C., Jeanine Pirro, is it Pirro?
Yes, it's Pirro.
Was on Fox News, and she was asked,
Pirro.
Pirro. Okay, so apparently it's Pirro. Anyway, so she was asked about all this.
President Trump's got a Crime Stoppers tip for you. He says, lightweight ABC reporter Jonathan Karl was seen sticking his hand into the pool and trying to rip the rubber off the surface. Judge, is Jonathan Karl from ABC in trouble?
Well, it depends. Anyone who is in a position of vandalizing or attempting to vandalize the reflecting pool will face the criminal justice system in D.C. Look, the president has made it a priority.
So she's clearly not going to answer whether or not Jonathan Karl is in trouble. He's not, nor should he be. And for you people that say, oh, you're a zombie and you follow Trump with everything, no, I disagree with Donald Trump on this.
To make D.C. not only safe, but beautiful. And there are several citations that have been handed out to individuals, and these are cases that will be prosecuted to the full extent. If there are more serious products that are put into the reflecting pool to create more algae or a bigger problem, then we'll consider more serious charges. But make no mistake, making D.C. beautiful is a priority, and if you damage, vandalize, or do anything to impact something like the reflective pool, you can be prosecuted.
So that is Jeanine Pirro. I got that right, Joe?
Pirro.
I knew it.
See,
Pirro.
so they have Jeanine Pirro, but Fox also has Todd Pirro.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
that's why I'm confused.
Yep.
Anyway, so I don't watch Fox News a lot, just to be honest. So anyway, how many arrests are we up to now? Is it 5, 6, 7?
5 arrests and 5 citations.
But Caroline Leavitt said there's 6 arrests.
6
and Donald Trump, I think Trump said there were 7. So I don't really know. Whatever.
What justifies an arrest versus being cited for that, though? That's my question.
Yeah, I wonder too. I just enjoyed the guy on the bike. Did you see that one?
Was this the Olympian?
Yeah. He's an Olympian canoeist.
Yeah, he's
what
a
is
former canoeist, and he's riding his bike, and I guess he rode down to the reflecting pond, and I haven't seen the video or exactly what he did.
I saw the video. I can't tell what he did. Maybe.
See, that's the thing. There's videos out there, and can I just tell you what I hate? I hate certain influencers on X who will say, "Oh, he's been caught red-handed. Look at this video."
I know, and then you can't really tell.
And then there's nothing to the video.
Yeah.
It's like the people that were sharing the Jonathan Carl video.
Yeah.
Joan, stop what you're doing right now and watch this video. See what Jonathan Carl did. So I will obediently stop what I'm doing and watch the video, and there's nothing there. You know what I mean?
There's no there.
There's no there. So that's part of what bothers me about some of the Trump influencers, if you will, is they'll do some of these things, but then it's like there's nothing. I've stopped doing what I'm doing because that's a pet peeve of mine online. Stop what you're doing. It's like, I'm not going to stop what I'm doing. I'm doing something rather important. I'm not going to stop what I'm doing to watch what you think is important, and ultimately, most of the time, it's not. Anyway, whatever.
Stop it. Get some help.
That's exactly right. Anyway, Donald Trump got very angry. So part of what's going on is you do have people on the left that are saying that Trump is claiming that the problem with the reflecting pond is vandalism, when the reality is that it's just poor fixing of the reflecting pond. That's what they're trying to say, that this was a Trump failure and not sabotage, right? So that's what the left is trying to say. But Trump said yesterday that there was a 250, 350 foot gash in the reflecting pool. I've got that full audio here. Let me play it real quick for folks. And you can see it on Super Talk TV. Trump doesn't really seem all that angry with it, which, I'm sure that he is, because he took great pride and is taking great pride in trying to make Washington, D.C. great again.
Yeah.
And
it's so frustrating that people see this as like a toy. It's amazing to me because it's not a toy. This is our nation's capital. This is what we're presenting to the world as they come to the United States to see our beautiful country. And we're going to celebrate 250 years, and people are going to be all over the National Mall. They should be able to come here and see just how beautiful it is.
The National Mall is beautiful. I mean, it can be a lot more beautiful.
It could be.
If the left would just allow it to be cleaned up.
Yeah.
This is Donald Trump.
We had vandalism. Vandals. We have I think 290, 300 foot slit right through it, probably a box cutter or a knife of some kind. Or we had people lifting up the basic, it's not a lot of damage, but we'll probably have to let the water out and refix it. They went in there with a knife. I was just told by the people over at Parks, they have 5 people are arrested and 5 people are under investigation right now. And it's a sad thing. In addition to that, we put brand new, beautiful grass all around. They put these massive letters on the grass. You probably know about that, right? And they said 8647. They probably got that from the dirty cop, Comey. He's a dirty cop.
So he starts going into this.
Dirty cop. He's a crooked guy. They destroyed the grass. So that's a big thing.
Yeah, so it's a big thing. Reflecting pool. Apparently one of us said pond. It was probably me. It was reflecting pool.
Did you also see the guy on CNN? I think his name is Cornell Belcher, talking about the reflecting pool.
No.
And all the efforts that are taking place in Washington, D.C. Here he is talking about the vandalism.
I'm sorry for these National Guards who should be home with their families and their friends, and they're still here as a part of Trump's political game that he's playing because they don't need to be here. But we're seeing this decriminalization and the slippery slope to authoritarianism. But this is what it looks like, right? Like all of a sudden, something that you played in, something that when I came to visit Washington, I also played, splashed around in. Right. All of a sudden, that's a crime. And so we're going to have a kid who's splashing around in a pool in Washington, D.C., like thousands of kids do all the time, where we're going to put them in handcuffs? Like, that's, to me, is the ultimate sort of symbol of how this country has fallen into disrepair and authoritarianism.
Okay, so if there's kids that, like, if people come to the National Mall and put their kids in the reflecting pool, people who are from Washington, D.C. approach them and say, please don't do that. Please don't do that. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, because it's to be respected.
Yeah,
it's not a pool for kids to kick around in.
It's also filled with bacteria, and it's not treated like a swimming pool.
This guy's nuts. Nobody splashes around in the reflecting pool, and if he did that, he should be arrested.
How long before somebody pees in it?
Oh, please.
You know that's listen. You know that's coming.
Yes.
Peeing in the reflecting pool.
Probably something Graham Plattner would do.
Yeah.
And if your kid has swam in the reflecting pool, I would recommend taking them to the same testing center that Graham Plattner's visited.
How long before Joe Biden comes and skinny dips in the reflecting pool? That's a reflection nobody wants to see.
Jill, I boo-booed in the pool.
Looking for my granddaughter.
You know what? That's okay.
My leg hairs. They're playing with my leg hairs.
All the algae would probably kill the poop.
Maybe.
Hey,
Am I back in the Vatican?
It's 8:18 on Super Talk, and time to check the roads on WTN. As far as the weather goes, mostly sunny today, less humid, and a high of 84. So apparently, Forrest Gump, was it Genie, ran in the reflecting pool?
I'm sorry, what?
Oh,
Forrest Gump.
No, the other name you said?
Is Genie? Was that her name in Forrest Gump? Jenny. Oh, whatever. Anyway, so yeah. So maybe that's where everybody, I should have asked Gary Sinise about all that when I talked to him yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Dang it. I missed opportunity. Anyway, so let's see here. Is it important to mention that the reflecting pool was a no-bid contract? We talked about that earlier. If that's a big deal to you, okay. I think Trump just wanted to get it done. And what happens is with these bids, you got like a whole bunch of bids, and it takes forever to get through the approval process. And I think Trump was like, can we just get it done?
Yeah. I was about to say, was this a lesson learned from the wing construction at the White House? Wasn't that bid for, and it's allowed them to hold it up in some capacity?
I don't know.
Between that and a new flagpole, the guy just wanted to get stuff done.
Yep, that's exactly right. Let's see here. Yeah, I didn't know that people swam in that thing.
No, they don't.
I'm telling you, they don't.
I went as a kid. I never even had the inkling of an idea that I should swim in that pool as a 10-year-old in D.C.
I guarantee you there's people that do.
I think you're probably right.
Joan, people are dumb. I think you overestimate people because there are a lot of dumb people.
Yes, but I think that people go. First of all, they go with their parents. Kids go with their parents to the Washington, to the National Mall.
Yeah.
And parents are reluctant to allow kids to like stand at it's so big and spacious that if your kid jumps in the reflecting pool, it's noticeable.
Yeah.
And I don't think parents want to be embarrassed like that. I'm counting on people still having decorum. I know.
Wow.
I know.
Those are some high expectations.
Yeah.
I was going to say.
Well, it's not like the Bicentennial Mall right over here in Nashville. There's fountains. And yes, you can, if you're a kid, you want to run through the fountains, go for it. Don't drink the water.
Mm-hmm.
But you can, and that's what it's kind of meant for that. Yeah, they're pretty to look at, but no one cares if kids go splashing through it. Completely different thing with the reflecting pool.
Yeah. All right.
Those chimes keep going
off. It's mine. I'm sorry.
Is that you?
Yeah.
See, my phone has been going nuts today because I think number one, my lovely wife heard my little thing on her
I can't. You stop it, Dan.
No, man. The conversation about Mountain Dew is what I meant.
It makes noise? Sorry.
Chris hasn't even gotten in here yet.
about how she was telling me that they actually do sell Mountain Dew in 12 packs.
They do the do?
They do the do. Yep. And let's see. So, yeah, people actually had some very strong opinions about my Mountain Dew conversation.
Mostly people shocked that you and Joe didn't get the reference about being all jacked up on Mountain
Yeah,
Dew.
you know what? There were a couple of
Talladega Nights, guys. Watch Talladega Nights. Diet Mountain Dew, she says, comes in 12 packs, but she doesn't like the cans.
Amy doesn't like cans?
No, she doesn't like drinking out of cans.
So will she buy the cans and then empty it into a glass with ice?
But
the bottles have the microplastics.
I guess.
Aluminum
I don't know.
is.
By the way,
safe.
fact check this real quick. Fact check this. Our friend John Roberts, the NASCAR race car driver expert guy, he says, fun fact, and I want to know if this is true. The 6-pack was created back in the day when the beer companies decided that females did most of the grocery shopping, and 6 cans of beer were the most the average female could lift. Is that true?
Oh, that
Grokking it,
sounds
grokking
so
it.
sexist.
It's not sexist.
That's what John says.
The Mustang was originally designed to be the housewife's car.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a guy car, isn't it? Mustang?
Nowadays, but it was originally designed for your wife at home.
Okay.
Yes, it's partially correct. The modern 6-pack format, especially the cardboard barrier for bottles, was popularized with female shoppers in mind. And it emerged, the cardboard 6-pack carriers came out around World War II. Brewers and retailers designed them as convenient, easy-to-carry options, specifically for women doing the grocery shopping.
All right. There you go. By the way, people saying, if Democrats having a problem with the no-bid contract, isn't that the same as Kamala Harris not having to go through a primary?
Yes. Yes.
Great point.
I think I'd say that's worse because that was the whole presidential candidate.
Nick says cans don't have the same taste as bottles. Is that true?
Are we talking glass bottles of beer
No,
here? Or are we talking
cans.
sodas?
Cans. Soda cans.
My husband likes Coca-Cola, and if you get the bottles, I think they're made actually in Mexico. I could be wrong about that, but they have actual cane sugar in it instead of whatever.
Right.
What is it?
High
fructose corn
syrup.
Right. So it's actual cane sugar. So we buy the bottles but we buy the big case things. I don't know.
So I don't drink soda anymore, but I seem to recall not liking to drink them out of cans. I did like to drink them either out of the bottles. For me, I'm a big ice guy.
Yeah.
So I rarely would drink anything out of a can or a bottle. I will put it in a glass with ice. Or go
Classy.
through a drive-through. What'd you say?
I said classy, and you followed up with, or go through a drive-through.
Or go through a drive-through. No, that's right. I try not to eat fast food anymore. Do you know what ruined fast food for me, Joan?
What's
and
that?
Sam? Seeing all of the icky things that fast food workers do to food.
I've done those icky things, and I still choose to eat in places.
You've done icky things?
Well, just saying.
Have you spit in anybody's order?
No, never.
That's the kind of icky things he's talking
No,
about.
no. He means just
Remember
like
the
how
guy-
dirty stuff is back behind where the grill is and all that stuff.
We talked about this. There was a story the other day, a couple of weeks ago now, maybe a couple of months, whatever. But there's a McDonald's worker who's going in there and he's putting his hand down his pants and adjusting things.
Yeah.
Remember that whole story?
Yes.
It was a Tennessee McDonald's.
Yeah.
And that was it
Never
for
done
me. I was like, you know what? I can't go to these places anymore.
Yeah.
And I don't. Which, I don't need to be eating fast food anyway, but it grossed me out that bad. There is the story about way back when you had some of these fast food workers putting their feet in the lettuce. Remember that one, Joan?
Oh,
way back when?
Yeah, I do remember that.
They do gross things.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying all of them. Now, people are going to be like, well, what about In-N-Out? Do you know what? At In-N-Out, you can see the kitchen.
Yes.
So,
And their food is wrapped up in stuff with Bible verses on it, so it's also been blessed.
that's exactly right. And I'm sure that they have rules and regulations against adjusting yourself and then touching the food. 8:26, and Joan, you've got the news coming up. What's up?
I do, Dan, and coming up here, a freak accident. Well, it's really an incident involving a Tesla car, and it's, no hands driving inside of a Texas home. The car goes inside of a Texas home, Now, officials are learning what really happened in that incident, and it's coming up here at 8:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
I'm sure you've noticed that homes are staying on the market for a lot longer these days, months on end in some cases. So if you, a neighbor, a family member, maybe some friends are stuck trying to get that home sold, but you can't, Mark Spain can help you right now. Their guaranteed offer is going to sell your home fast and for maximum profit. Realize Mark Spain Real Estate has over 72,000 satisfied clients. They are the #1 most reviewed real estate company in America with over 13,000 five-star reviews. Mark Spain Real Estate is the company that I recommend for selling your home fast and without all the hassle. So if you need help, Mark Spain Real Estate is here to help you move when you want to move and get the most out of your home with a quick sale and maximum profit. Call them, tell them Dan Mandis told you to reach out, 855-299-SOLD, or go to markspain.com to get that guaranteed offer on your home today. 855-299-SOLD is markspain.com. That's markspain.com, and start packing. Dan Mandis here. I am so grateful to the Charlie Daniels Journey Home Project. Now, great Americans who have been crucial in helping our military veterans acclimate to life back home after multiple deployments. Our men and women of the military need the support that the Charlie Daniels Journey Home Project provides. Rehabilitation is a huge issue for returning veterans, and the Charlie Daniels Journey Home Project has been there for our veterans for years, and now they're protecting our first responders with a new partnership with an organization called Shield 616, providing life-saving body armor for the Wilson County Sheriff's Department. Now, these advanced ballistic vests will provide protection to first responders as they are protecting you. Give to the Charlie Daniels Journey Home Project today. As much work as they've done to help veterans and first responders, sadly, there's still much work to be done. Find them online and give today at charliedanielsjourneyhomeproject.org. That's charliedanielsjourneyhomeproject.org. Learn more and donate to the veterans and the first responders. charliedanielsjourneyhomeproject.org. Return, rehabilitate, and reintegrate.
Good morning. It's now 8:32. I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. A teenager who was taking part in a racing event in Lewisburg on Saturday was killed when his car was involved in a crash. It flipped over on top of him.
It was probably the most horrific accident that I've seen at a track. It's just the way the cars hit and the momentum when they started flipping, and I don't think you could have created a worse accident than what had happened.
Yeah, that's Duck River Raceway's Russell Booth. Witnesses said 17-year-old Bentley Potts was apparently not wearing a seatbelt or helmet. He had been ejected from the vehicle. A freak incident with a Tesla that ended up with the death of a woman inside her home. Well, that incident is now explained.
Investigators say 44-year-old Michael Butler has told them that his Tesla Model 3 was in self-driving mode when it accelerated down a suburban street and crashed into a house, killing the 76-year-old woman inside. Tesla's vice president of Autopilot posted on X that Butler had manually overridden the self-driving mode and had accelerated to 73 miles per hour before the accident.
That's ABC's Jim Ryan reporting. It was just a few weeks ago that a federal judge dismissed the human smuggling case against Kilmar Abrego Garcia. Remember him, the Maryland man? He called the case vindictive, despite admitting that there was not sufficient evidence to support that claim. Well, now the DOJ says it is going to appeal. The charges stem from that viral 2022 traffic stop during which Abrego Garcia was driving a van packed with Spanish-speaking men. Market numbers brought to you by Beacon Capital Management, online at beaconcm.com. Pretty ugly start on Wall Street today. The NASDAQ is down more than 2% right now, minus 563. The S&P 500 index down 111. There's a tech sell-off that continued after last night. The Dow Jones Industrial starting off the day 296 points lower. That's the latest news. Stick around for traffic and weather next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
Sing it, Joan. Dan Mandis here for my friends at the Covered Patio. Warmer weather means you want to spend more time outside. Now, if you want to add more living space to your home, think about building or upgrading your patio. And they've got motorized screens at the Covered Patio so that you can easily keep the patio open when you want some sun and closed when you want some shade. So your back screened-in porch becomes a lot more enjoyable. The Covered Patio can help you out. They've got a ton of outdoor living options with motorized screens and patio covers and custom wooden decks and outdoor structures. The Covered Patio has a ton of options with styles for every budget, including yours. The Covered Patio is dedicated to fair prices and customized solutions for your specific home and your specific space. So enjoy your home a lot more with an incredible patio upgrade from the Covered Patio. Reach out to them. Tell them Dan told you to reach out. 615-695-2407. 615-695-2407. Online, thecoveredpatio.com. Thecoveredpatio.com. Friends, if you're getting married this fall, or maybe you're part of a ceremony and you're stressing over how you're going to look, check out my friends at Contours LLC. They can help you. That's right. They can help you lose at least 2 inches of body fat with red light technology. It is safe, effective, FDA cleared, and it does work instantaneously. You're going to fit easier in your clothes. You're going to look great in the wedding photos. Contours LLC is the only med spa I know of that guarantees you're going to lose 2 inches across 6 measurements on that first visit, or that visit is free. How's that for a guarantee? They perform or you don't pay. And how about this for payment? You bring the bride and 2 others from the wedding party, and the bride gets a belly buster treatment for free. And the others? Only $99 each. So schedule this out a few weeks before the wedding and look and feel your best on the big day. Contours LLC, 615-236-9960, 615-236-9960, online, contoursllc.com. Tell them Dan Mandis told you to reach out. Contours, after all, what have you got to lose but a couple of inches before the big day?
Okay, we have a vehicle fire. It's in Pegram on 40 westbound past McCrory Lane, exit 192. Police are on the scene there. Also in Arrington on 840 westbound side at the off-ramp to Horton Highway. There's a crash. That off-ramp is partially blocked. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Joan, who is this? What statement is Sam trying to make with today's bumper
Something
music?
about New York City.
Actually, it's Diet Mountain Dew by Lana Del Rey.
She did a song called Diet Mountain Dew?
Yeah, because like the man she loves, that's just not good for her. The Diet Mountain Dew and the man.
Oh.
It's a metaphor, Dan.
Is that what that is? Who is this?
Lana Del Rey.
Is she the one that married like the
alligator guy?
The alligator guy, that's right.
Yeah.
Do you know the story of Lana Del Rey?
So like the alligator king?
She goes, no, this is actually fascinating. So she goes on some sort of an alligator tour thing and dates this dude for like a year. He had no idea that she was rich and famous and a pop star. And so I
cool.
guess finally she, I mean, obviously they got married, so he must know now. But it's really fascinating. Like she just didn't tell him for a while.
That's got to be nice though, because you know that the dude likes her for her.
Right. Well, have you seen her?
Yeah.
I'd like her for her too.
I like her song Chemtrails Over the Country Club.
Oh.
Have you heard that one?
No, have not heard that one.
It's a banger.
Is it? Is she conservative?
I think she's pretty red-pilled.
Chemtrails Over the Country Club.
Yeah.
Does she have one about the frogs being gay?
Not yet, but I feel like that's just only a matter of time.
Right.
Does she have one about the vandalism of the reflecting pool, which I kept trying to make into a pond today?
Did you see Whoopi Goldberg saying Donald Trump should be going to jail for vandalizing the reflecting pool?
Oh my gosh.
No.
Yeah.
Can I ask this question? Does anybody care at this point what Whoopi Goldberg says?
Well,
I'm right up there with Joy Reid.
She's an ABC News commentator.
Right, because they're under ABC News's umbrella.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh.
The View is under the ABC News umbrella, not the ABC Entertainment umbrella.
But she's not news.
No, she is. She's under the umbrella.
I was thinking about this on the way in. like for them to be called political commentators, I think is just a bastardization of that phrase.
It would like
political commentator.
It would like me calling her a nun because she was in Sister Act.
Yeah. Well, it's like
that's good.
It's like Anna Navarro, right? Anna Navarro
she's the Republican in the group, Dan.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
You leave Anna Navarro alone. She's on our side, Dan.
Anna Navarro is a senior political commentator for CNN. And it's like
the only thing authentic about that is senior.
Yeah. And it's like, but the things that she says are so stupid and don't even, from a rational standpoint, make no sense. And so you've got Whoopi Goldberg, you say, under the news umbrella of ABC News, doing political commentary when, at least, if you're a political commentator, at least have some rational thought and argument. But the things that they say, it's filled with falsehoods and lies.
They've made some good arguments.
Have they?
Don't you recall when they said that Jan 6 was worse than the Holocaust?
Right.
Oh, exactly. Right. That's a great point.
They nailed it.
These are the things that they say.
It was the darkest day in history, Dan.
Oh, my God.
And I'm tired of pretending it wasn't.
Worse than 9/11.
It was like
I remember that.
It was like
now.
100 9/11s, Dan.
It was
with white supremacists.
Oh my goodness gracious! So yeah, Anna Navarro being the senior political commentator for CNN, when the stuff that she says is just absolute. And of course, Whoopi Goldberg,
highly entertaining.
Do you know what? If they were at least entertaining, I could sort of, dismiss the fact that what they say is so incredibly stupid. It's as shallow as the reflection pond.
Ooh.
Or pool, or whatever you want to say.
Did you
and as smelly.
Did you see the MS Now commentator saying that he swam in the reflecting pool as a kid?
I just played that. I just played it a couple of minutes ago.
Said, when I was a kid, this is so crazy. They're going to be arresting kids because kids swim in the reflecting pool. I swam in the reflecting pool as a kid, and it's like, actually, National Park Service rules have banned wading or entering the water since the 1920s.
Yeah. And like I was telling Dan earlier, if visitors to the park see somebody allowing their kid to get into the reflecting pool, people actually will approach you and say, hey, that's not cool. Get out of there.
I used to swim laps in the reflecting pool.
Yeah.
Training for the Olympics.
Yeah.
Well, again, I think it's only a matter of time, Chris, before somebody pees in the reflecting pool. That's going to happen, right?
All those kids that used to swim in it did it. That's where the algae came from.
We were in the hotel pool. At the hotel. This is maybe, Joan, this is why you called me ugly earlier. All these little kids in the pool, the only thing I could think, because Riker drags me into the pool. I didn't want to go in the pool, but I did it to be a good stepdad.
Yeah.
And I go in the pool. All I could think about was the water to urine ratio in that pool.
Oh.
That's the only thing that I could think about.
It should be a requirement that the pool has that whatever in it that if somebody pees, it makes the purple trail. Yeah.
I thought that was a big myth. I don't think that's real.
Oh, it is absolutely real.
Really?
Says the man who owns a pool. You would think he knows, right?
That there's a chemical that will turn the pee purple?
Oh, I don't know about that. But I'm talking about the urine to water ratio.
I think your ratio was low.
I don't. The pool that I was in must have had 50 little kids in it. All the way up to teenagers. And from a little kid all the way to the teenagers, they're peeing in the pool.
Chris is right. Purple dye to detect urine. It's a myth.
Famous urban legend. What?
I was a lifeguard and I did the pool chemicals. I was like,
Do you know whenever people come over to my house, I don't care what age they are, the first thing I tell them, don't pee in my pool? Ken Weaver. When Ken Weaver came over to swim in my pool, Johnny B too. We had a pool party at my house. I said, guys, I love you both. Don't pee in my pool.
Sam, you know what I'm hearing? Those guys got invited to the pool and we didn't. That's what I'm hearing.
I never get invited to the pool.
Now I might have to pee in the pool.
Here we go. Here we go.
I was going to defend Dan too, but now I'm off the Dan train. So I heard Joan and Sam picking on you, calling you ugly, and I was like, okay, guys, give Dan a rest.
Yeah.
He's not like that. And then I walked in
Now
the
do you
studio.
see?
And then I walked in the studio, and I had the audacity to be smiling. And Dan snaps at me, and he goes, "Why are you smiling?"
Stop it. Get some help.
All right, so I don't remember. I thought you heard something funny in the hallway, and it was going to be something that you could bring to the segment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Why are you smiling?
Could you tell how irritated I was that Joan said that I can be ugly in the morning? She said 1 day a week I come in and I'm ugly to people, and I don't know what you're talking about, Joan.
I didn't hear irritation. I just heard hurt. I heard pain.
You know what, Joan? I'm not angry.
I think
I'm
you're
hurt.
just a little overly sensitive, Dan.
Now I'm overly sensitive. Keep going, Joan. Just keep going.
And you don't invite me to your pool.
It's because everybody knows you're going to pee in it, Joan.
Do you know what? Murphy Show says the same thing. That Matt Murphy and I lived about 15 minutes apart, and I never invited him over to my house either. And
to be fair, Matt was living in a trailer park at the time.
He never invited me over to his trailer.
The jury was still out on Murphy during that test period.
You know, the reality is I invite very few people over. I invited Brian Wilson over once so that he would fix my equipment.
Pause.
You guys
pause.
just
whatever. You send me videos of your hydrangeas.
Sure did. And you didn't respond. I'm still pissed about that.
Oh my gosh. You are the most sensitive man in America.
Joan, I thought we had a thing going.
There's your promo right there, Joan.
I sent Joan a picture of my hydrangeas, a video of my hydrangeas.
Okay, you want me to tell you why?
And she didn't respond.
If she didn't
have anything nice to say, she wasn't going to say anything, Dan.
You won't propagate with me, so I'm not going to.
The propagating came after the no response. You didn't respond, so I'm not going to propagate with you.
This is a propagating free zone.
But you know what? She did respond to Sam on that weekend. So she responded to Sam's text and not mine. And you wonder why I won't propagate with you. Who are you, Joan?
She was probably sick of the hydrangea.
If I provide the equipment, will you propagate?
Joan, if it means that much to you to propagate with me and my hydrangeas, then I will happily consider it.
All right.
As long as you tell the listening audience that I'm not ugly once a week. Because that's what you said.
Well, it was actually Sam that said once a week. I wasn't limiting it. But you are not ugly, Dan, in the mornings. I'm just kidding with you.
Tim says, whoa, the show just took a turn. Who's propagating who? Are you guys running a brothel? So just so people know, because up until a couple of months ago, I actually didn't know what propagating meant. So propagating means taking, I guess, a piece of my hydrangeas.
Clippings, yes.
And so Joan can have a little bit of Dan in her garden.
In my backyard.
That's exactly right. So there you go. You want a white one or a purple one? Because that's the only two colors apparently I'm going to get.
I like them both.
Well, we only get one, Joan. Don't push it, woman.
Why can't I have two?
All right, fine. I'll consider it.
Okay.
Can I have some too?
Sure. Sam, you want to propagate with me too?
Yeah. I'm going to water it myself, though.
Okay. I know what you're talking about. Anyway. Dan is
guess what you're talking
2637.
about.
Dan is a hydrangea pimp.
He is.
So anyway, there you go. Amanda's menstruating in the morning. Good.
Oh.
This is now what I've been subjected to.
Yeah.
Mandis is a moron in the mornings.
Jason, Brian is fixing Dan's little thing. I said something earlier. What did I say earlier that people glommed onto?
That Amy had heard your rant about Diet Mountain Dew, and you said, I guess she heard my little thing.
and then Joan said, it makes noise? Or something like that. That was funny, Joan. That was really good.
You can tell when, I'm a little, I've had too much coffee this morning. Sorry.
Oh, my gosh.
For everything I've said.
Brought to you by Wally'sBeanMachine.com.
Yeah.
There you go.
Wally's does this to me.
This segment is just like The View, 1323. No, actually, this segment is actually decent.
And we're not considered ABC News.
And we wouldn't defend Bill Cosby like Whoopi Goldberg.
Did she defend
It was
Bill
another
Cosby?
thing, yeah. When the accusations were coming out, she was like, whoa, everybody, slow your roll. She repeatedly expressed skepticism about the accusations against Cosby.
Right.
Don't go believe in all of that nonsense.
All right, very good. What do we got for this segment, Chris? Go.
I was gonna bring that MS Now guy who was saying that he was swimming in the pool, but you just you brushed by it. You didn't even want to propagate with that segment. So,
by all means, this is talk about propagating as opposed to. Well, we did that like 45 minutes ago. So did you send me the video?
I did not because you didn't seem interested.
No, I'm okay. Let's do this. You're a baseball fan, Chris, right?
Oh, you want to do gay MLB jerseys?
No. The Christians won. Commissioner,
we always knew victory was ours in the end, Dan.
It's exactly right. So the Major League Baseball, Joan, as reported earlier on Nashville's Morning News exclusively, I'm sure, that they will not be fining the players that wrote Bible verses on their hats over the gay logo.
Did you hear that there was a minor league team that was refusing to wear the
Whole
jerseys
thing.
outright?
They forfeited the game.
That's based.
I love that.
So
absolutely love it. Well, so do you think what's going to happen now? Do you think Major League Baseball will just stop the stupidity of Gay Pride Night?
It's going to be on a team by team basis, right?
So that team the team in Pennsylvania, the team said we're not going to do this. So the general manager and the owner of the team actually expanded their Pride Night festivities to make up for the game not being there. They said, "Oh, you guys don't want to play? Then we're going to have even more."
Everyone should take a page out of the Texas Rangers book and just don't do anything.
Do Pride.
Now, I will say I do like the City Connect uniforms. That's a pretty cool thing that they do. I'm not even a big baseball fan.
Can I ask this question? So last time I checked, the Texas Rangers are doing really well in attendance. I don't know about their
standings
and all that. But so what harm has befallen the Texas Rangers that they refuse to do Pride Night? Nothing.
Mm-mm.
They're still doing good, and they're still here. And
Yeah.
Texas hasn't melted down. Well, it's really hot, but I mean, they haven't melted down over the fact that they have not done Gay Pride Night. So what's the big deal?
Exactly.
So why can't the rest of these... Do the Titans do Gay Pride stuff? I'm sure they do.
We know the Predators do.
We do know the Predators do, don't we?
And they do it, and they
You
try
got
not to
sucked
tell
into
you
that.
about it. I didn't
Yeah.
get sucked into it, but they almost duped me.
They almost did.
If I wasn't any wiser, you would have gone to the website. You wouldn't have even known it was happening, and then you would have showed up, and it would have been like Big Gay Night.
Big Gay Night. Is that what they called it? Big Gay Night?
I think it was
Is that what they called
hashtag Big Gay Night.
Wouldn't
You
it
said-
technically have been Big Gay Predators Night?
Big Gay Predators Night. That's what they would have called it.
I say that as a fan of the team.
We want all of our big gay predators to join us this evening. That's what they would have said.
And it's a family-friendly atmosphere simultaneously, as they claim.
All right, good.
I had a story for later today that I was gonna talk about, but there's a New York's school board vice president who was a drag queen at the same time as being on the school board.
Yes.
And he's doing this interview, and he's like, "I can't believe people look at me like I'm some sort of predator." Well, he was just arrested for possessing child sex abuse material involving infants.
Yep.
That
Shocking.
is somehow less shocking than Tucker Carlson leaving the Republican Party.
Do you care about that?
I don't really care.
I don't care either. He can do what he wants. I'm reasonably certain the Republican Party will be just fine without him.
Yep.
False. He can do what Qatar wants him to do.
Whatever.
See, I don't buy into those memes either. That he's getting Qatari money. Is he getting Qatar? How much Qatari money is he getting?
He has a home there.
So he's rich as nails, man. Like
He was rich before Fox News. He comes from a wealthy family, does he not?
yeah,
Yes,
his
he
dad
does.
was in the CIA.
Yeah.
He's very well connected. So he can't own a property anywhere else in any other country. I wouldn't buy a house in Qatar, but I don't know if that's exactly proof that he's getting Qatari money.
Sam, got a rebuttal? You guys want to debate this? Sam is silent. Sam is desperately searching to try to back up his point.
Well, I haven't seen anything. I'm
I don't
open.
care.
I'm open to new information.
I don't care.
I thought the Tucker Carlson stuff came from the night guy, Mark Levin.
Yeah, that was kind of funny. All right, we're running out of time, probably for the best. Joan, was coming up in the news.
Yeah, heads are rolling in Washington, D.C., and the left is not happy about it. Also, we'll tell you about a popular candy that it's about to go maha. It's coming up at 9 at Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
So I'm just checking out all the deals over at dtmccalls.com. There is a lot. Best brands, great prices, and rebates as well. Washer and dryer sets, dishwashers, ovens, and a whole lot more. Refrigerators, of course. Now, look, when I need an appliance, the first thing I do is head on over to that website, dtmccalls.com. I've bought, at least a couple of appliances from these folks over the years, and I'll be buying a lot more in the future because they do provide the trifecta at DT McCall's. Great prices, great selection in brands, and terrific customer service. Now, this is a great company, a great Tennessee company that I have been doing business with for years, and you're going to love them. They've been serving Middle Tennesseans for over 100 years, and they'll be here for 100 more. DT McCall's, 5 locations across Middle Tennessee, Carthage, Cookeville, Lafayette, Lebanon, and Franklin, and again, always online at dtmccalls.com. As always, tell them Dan Mandis told you to reach out.